Back in a moment. Trapped in a timeshare, fees rising every year while availability shrinks, resorts making exiting nearly impossible. That's why I partner only with Lone Star Transfer. This family-owned company is transparent, honest, respectful. They have helped more than 40,000 owners exit legally and ethically through a simple guaranteed process. No surprise fees, no unused vacations, no stress. Please visit LoneStarTransfer.com or you can call 855-551-7066. Tell them Bill sent you today. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Never a dull moment in this building, never.
That's right, and I love it.
Yep. All right, today's show on a Tuesday, Senator Nick Schroer coming up in a bit. I heard it on the X. Drew Thompson, Dr. Tobler Chatbox. Ken, who's doing the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Tom DiLorenzo from the Mises Institute.
What institute?
The Mises.
Mises?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mises to pieces? That kind of thing?
Kind of like that.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Mises.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Ken. So the president says we are talking. There are talks now. Iran wants to talk. And, Iran says, no, we don't. First of all, in that situation, who do you believe?
Right. That's number one.
A crazy Iranian mullah or President Trump? I go with President Trump. So we'll see what happens. But I know that Chris Murphy was on Meet the Press on Sunday, and he was like, the only way to make these gas prices come down is to end this war. You know what he didn't say? To win this war.
Right.
He didn't phrase it like that. He phrased it to end this war. Like, just give up.
Right.
Wave the white flag.
Yeah, and I think President Trump is just playing 4D chess. Maybe, Vic, President Trump is just saying that he wants to negotiate with them just so he could say, I said I would negotiate with them, and they said no.
Yep. They're so stupid. Everybody thinks they're a step ahead of him, and he's like 5 steps ahead of them.
Right.
All right, let's get the senator going here.
He's known by many names.
We the people are in charge. We are going to save our republic.
Nikki Two Shows, Schroer the Thrower. Twitter trolls love to hate him.
We love Vic Porcelli so much.
He's Nick Schroer, Missouri State Senator.
Good morning, State Senator. How are you?
Well, it never ends, and I've got a real funny update for you guys from the Education Committee that is happening right now. I literally just stepped out of it. And I don't want to take this over. I don't want to filibuster. I'm known for doing that. But whenever you're ready, I've got the update of the century on how crazy the Democrats have become.
Lights, camera, action.
Go.
So we've got a bill today. Senator Henderson from Franklin County area. He presenting a pretty common sense bill. Hey, we're gonna protect private schools if they want to designate that only boys go in the boys' bathroom and locker rooms and only girls go in their designated areas. So lady gets up. She claims to be a Wiccan priestess. And she found out when she was in her 20s that she shouldn't have been going to the girls' bathroom, even though she's biologically a female. And she starts getting into it with the chairman. And the very next witness that comes up testifying against this pretty common sense bill, very simple bill, is a very large man in drag who happens to say to the entire committee that he's quote unquote intact. I don't know what that means. I can only assume what it means. But then he says that his significant other was the one who just testified. and it's getting crazier. It is like an episode of The Office, because people are upset that we're trying to just strike a balance here and say, look, until Missouri gets some more mental health institutions, we're going to protect these young men and women by designating that only they can go into the bathrooms of their biological designation. So it gets weirder and weirder in the Missouri Capitol, and I can only assume that this is the start of a very good week.
So I have two-parter here for you, Nick. First of all, do private schools right now in Missouri have some sort of it's okay for boys to go in the girls' bathroom policy?
Well, a lot of the schools are saying that. A lot of the schools are coming to some of the legislators saying, look, we're designating that. I don't care if you think you're a unicorn, if you think that you're a female when you're truly a boy, you're going to go into the locker room and the restroom that you should be going into, and that's the one that your body is matching. Now, all of these different mentalities, all of these different personalities, I don't care what you think, you're a boy going to the boys' bathroom. They're worried that they're going to get sued, that you're going to have an attorney out there take some sort of case and go after these private institutions that are doing, I think, very common sense policy.
So isn't that why you have a private school, so you can do what you want to do? How can they be sued? We're a private school. We'll set our rules and just get out of our face.
Yeah, and that's exactly the spirit behind this bill is, look, if you don't want to go to the private school, you don't have to. But when you go there, like, some of these different clubs that you can go to, or if you want to go be part of a country club, if you're going to go golf, well, you have to, make sure that you don't wear a hat inside the building, that you are dressed a certain way. And it's just like these schools. If you don't want to go there, don't go there. They're not getting state money. They're not getting state aid. And now they're afraid because of how crazy the Democrats have become. And that's evidenced by the people that are continuing to testify against this bill. They just want to be protected legally. They should be shielded by making a very common sense decision like that.
Well, the key word you said here is afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid they're going to be sued. Well, how about this? How about if they're sued from a parent whose child is traumatized for life because some guy walked in and she was there naked? Exactly right. They could be sued by that way as well. So they should be afraid of that then. If they're going to be afraid of everything, they need to be afraid of that.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. And this is coming from an attorney. And I think there is the 7th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that's dictating the right to a jury trial, the right to have your way in court, to seek redress of your injuries. And this is just getting silly. Look, I think all of these parents, the vast majority of the parents that are sending their kids to these schools, they want to know, hey, when I'm at work and I don't have time to hover over my child and make sure that they're protected all day long, just make sure that they're not being abused, that they're not being exposed to pornographic crap in the libraries, that they're not being exposed to male genitalia. As a dad of 2 daughters, I can tell you right now, I'd be kicking down doors and throwing people out the damn window if you told me, hey, at the school, we're just letting kids just go in there and whip it out in front of the girls in the locker room. No, we're not doing that. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these parents are sending their kids to a private school, because they want that added layer of protection.
And the private school should be able to do what they want. So I don't know if either of you guys remember the stories. About 20 years ago, McClure North High School, there was a boy in the girls' room, and it's not like he was a trans or trying to be something else. He was a special ed kid, though. Went in the girls' room, took some girl, and drowned her in the toilet, and she died. So traumatized is one thing. Living and breathing is something else.
Yeah.
Well, Loudoun County, Virginia, just a couple years ago, that was a huge issue when the parent came to the school board and was arrested because he was saying to the school board, you guys knew that this kid who you allowed to go into the girls' locker room, he abused my kid, he abused my daughter, and he did the same thing in a different school district. This is scary stuff when you're dealing with what kids are exposed to at their most vulnerable times. I mean, this bill was impacting even young grades, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, and it maddens me. It is ridiculous to think that there are people out there that think it's okay for an 8-year-old girl to be exposed to a man in the locker room just because he says, you know what, I feel like a teeny bopper. I feel like a 10-year-old today, so I'm going to go change in the women's restroom, or I'm going to go use the women's bathroom. Again, I've said this time and time again. I said it just at Lincoln Days. I know News Talk had a great presence there. I said it at Lincoln Days that we need the strong men back. And Vic, I know your dad would not put up with this garbage. And I feel like, you know, my grandpa, all the stories that I would share with my grandpa who fought in World War II, those were the guys and gals who created this amazing free beacon that we have known as the United States of America. That greatest generation, we need to instill strong beliefs like that again. And it's time we start standing up saying, no, enough is enough. I don't care how crazy you are, because this is a mental illness. When you have people coming up in front of the committee talking about their genitalia, even though they are a grown man in drag, now they're saying that they want to have an avenue to go into the girls' restroom. No, we're putting our foot down. You step in there, we're going to step in there too and drag your ass out.
You mentioned your parents and grandparents, Nick, and Vic's as well. I pictured my father's look on his face if he were to hear any of this right now. He was a Navy veteran and he traveled the world. He would have been like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here? You know, and what we have to do, yes, pass legislation for sure, but we've got to be on guard all the time, because the left has turned into such a crazy party. They're going to try and find any avenue they can, even though it's over. You will say, okay, we defeated them. It's fine. Let's move on. Don't, because they're going to be trying it again and again and again.
Yeah, keep the throttle down. That's what I told 400 group of people who were there at Lincoln Days. We can't sit here and get lazy. That's what got us into this position. The greatest generation made this very free, incredible nation where, yes, I think at a time we were the home of the free because of the brave. But a lot of us got fat and happy and said, yeah, you know, we're better than China. We're better than Russia. We're better than North Korea. And they've been infiltrating. I think they've infiltrated our education system. There's a 60 Minutes special, I think it was 60 Minutes a couple months ago, where they talked about the amount of money that was linked into the education system in New York City that was traced back to communist China. And I think our enemies have been infiltrating and taking advantage of the fact that the Republicans have not had a backbone, have not had a spine to stand up and protect our kids and protect the future, protect our society, so to speak, and have allowed this crap to go on far too long. It's time that we, you know, the parents come home, the kids have been partying, we have to clean house and actually put down some rules once again.
All right, I do want to talk about taxes, but I just want to throw in here real quick that my father, who was a principal of a school, wouldn't even let a letter go home to a kid's parents with the name spelled wrong. He'd freak out on whoever did that. You know how I know that? Because I got in trouble when I was in high school, and the letter came home from the assistant principal, Mr. Henry, and our last name was spelled wrong. And my father was more pissed at him for spelling our name wrong than he was at me for stealing a couple pairs of socks. So I saw a great meme the other day. Coming soon, this exit, no taxes, no income taxes. I love the sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we need as Republicans to start talking more about this bill, because this legislation that is now in the possession of the Senate, hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, we'll have it on the Senate floor. It's got to go through committee, because we were on, I hate to say it, spring break last week, and the legislature kind of shut down. Well, we're back in business. I think it's going to be heard this week or next. And essentially what this does, and I've had two great conversations, one with Bishop Davidson, who is the legislator down in Springfield area, the representative who has sponsored this, and we've had Ben Keithley on. Those shows you can go back and listen to on the app, on State Freedom Caucus, Unfiltered, and Stand and Fight. But they broke down this bill. They debunked a lot of the garbage that you're hearing coming out, all the scare tactics that are being used. Look, essentially what this does, it's going to the ballot. The reason we need this into the Constitution, getting rid of income tax, putting that in the Constitution, is it makes it 10 times, a million times harder for a future legislature, whether it's weak Republicans or a Democrat legislature. And look, again, fat and happy, we can sit here all day long. And
I'm right here.
We can sit here all day long and say, look, the Democrats will never take control in the state of Missouri. We all know that that's false. So if they were to take control, it's a hell of a lot harder to change and start implementing an income tax once again if it's in our Constitution. They'd have to go back to the ballot rather than just changing a law that you could do in just a couple days. So it goes to the people. It says, do you want the legislature to slowly, while revenues increase, it's triggered just like we have the income tax now. As revenues increase, the income tax will go all the way to zero. It's as simple as that. Now, there's another thing in there that says, but do you want to allow the legislature, if they can agree on something, to come back within a 3-year window and start talking about some of these other egregious things that are out there? The video lottery terminals that we see in every friggin' gas station around Missouri right now. If we wanted to legalize them rather than ban them, you could put a tax on that and put some consumer protection. OnlyFans, this horrific website where people can sell videos and pictures of themselves, guess what? It's not being taxed right now. And you have people making millions and millions of dollars off of this egregious stuff. If we wanted to somehow put a tax on that, put some consumer protection on that, make sure you're not having kids exposed to this crap or kids, sharing stuff on there, you could do that in that 3-year window. And that will bring the triggers faster to make income tax go to zero a hell of a lot quicker. So even if we don't do anything, if this passes, goes to the ballot, voters vote on this thing, and the legislature doesn't do a darn thing for the next 3 years, we are on a path to zero. It could take 15 to 20 to 30 years. And that's why it's so important for us to have those conversations in that 3-year window. Okay, are we going to go to a consumption tax? Yes, no. Have a conversation on some of these other areas that aren't being taxed right now. Look at the tax credit programs. This is key. Look at all of these big businesses that are getting handouts right now and tax breaks while we, the people, are suffering. If you want equal treatment, getting rid of some of those tax credit programs will absolutely expedite us and get us to zero a heck of a lot quicker.
I was listening to St. Charles Patriot Radio Sunday. Show sounds great. Where else are you on the weekend?
Everywhere.
Where are
Everywhere
you
on Sunday.
Right.
1 o'clock Sunday, you've got St. Charles Patriot Radio, where we're talking to business owners, we're talking to legislators, we're talking to just people in St. Charles County. And then I take a quick break, probably grab something to eat, and then 6 o'clock we start Stand and Fight. It's kind of the hour filibuster with me, where I just get everything off my chest. And then 7 o'clock, we bring Tim Jones in and talk to legislators across America. This past week, we had the vice chair of the Freedom Caucus in South Dakota. We had the vice chairman of Missouri, Ben Keithley, and then we had the chairwoman of the Wyoming Freedom Caucus, and her story is incredible, how they have taken the Wyoming Freedom Caucus in just a couple of years, similar to the path Missouri is on. They were attacked at first. They were demeaned. They were smeared by Republicans, by the media, by the Democrats, and guess what? In just a couple of years, they grew all the support from the grassroots up, got enough people elected, and now the Freedom Caucus is running the Wyoming House. Their Speaker of the House is a Freedom Caucus member.
Unbelievable. All right, we can't miss you on Sunday then. That's good. Senator Nick Schroer, thank you so much, sir.
God bless you, boys. Keep standing, keep fighting, and have a great week.
Hey, have a great week, and God bless you, Senator.
I'm going to sit and fight. Is that okay?
See you, buddy.
You guys can stand and fight. I'm going to sit.
You're going to sit and fight? As long as you're fighting, Vic.
I can kick. I can kick while I'm sitting.
Totally fine.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, I heard it on the X on 101.9, 94.1, News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
This is Tony Colombo, and my favorite Capriati sandwich is the cheesesteak made with American Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms, and you have to include a side of their amazing fries. I love Capriati's, and you will too.
Open 9 to 9 daily on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
News, analysis, opinion.
We cannot live in a world where we have radical Islamic terrorists threatening to hold the world's oil market and global economy hostage like this.
101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
One day some of the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Miserlou, which we heard all over Pulp Fiction back in 1995. And this new show that we talked to Kathy Kaiser about a lot called DTF St. Louis is kind of Pulp Fiction-y and nothing. It doesn't go in order. Like so you're in the past and then you're in the present and then you go back again to the past. And it drives my wife crazy. She says, "Can't you just do it in order? Why
Come on.
What do you got to jump around for? It's too confusing to watch." All right. Every Tuesday at this time, it's time for I Heard It on the X.
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it on the X.
All right, Kenny and I scour X, and we just scour it.
Scour it.
We use scouring pads.
Yeah.
To find all this good stuff for you. And we start with Fan Trump Army. This is audio 12, Ken. Bombshell revelation. A high-level Democrat whistleblower just blew the lid off of one of the biggest political scandals in the U.S.
It doesn't get much more serious than that. The chairman of the House Intel Committee doesn't have declassification authority over these types of documents. They are made available to Congress under very tightly controlled rules. This has been a source of tension for years. And members of both parties have gone out of their way to assure that this material would be closely held and not weaponized. Schiff was viewed as one of the most political chairs of that committee in its history. And this is a truly chilling account, if true. Now, when I first read it, frankly, I was taken aback because it's perfectly moronic to commit such a felony with a planning conference meeting with staff. That's not usually how things are leaked in Washington, D.C. What makes this different is that this was a statement made to FBI agents. The person who made this statement was no doubt aware that lying to FBI agents is not just a crime, but a crime that was repeatedly prosecuted during prior administrations, including the Obama and Biden administrations.
That was constitutional expert Jonathan Turley right there.
I love that guy.
Talking about the whistleblower, saying that Adam Schiff personally authorized and directed his team. I'm going to say that again. Personally authorized and directed his team to leak classified intelligence to hurt Trump during the height of the Russiagate hoax.
Okay, so they have documentation of this. They have evidence of this. If they don't have this man put in prison for what he's done, it's over, Vic. There is a two-party system here, or two, I guess, tier of justice in this country, and there's no way of getting around it at that point.
Yep, you're right, Ken. This one's from Eric Doherty. We use him all the time. Germany's right-wing anti-Islamic migration party just surged in tonight's West Germany state elections, making a surprising 11-point gain, and has nearly doubled its seats from just a few years ago. Take your country back from the third world. And that's the most important sentence of that whole post. take your country back from the third world, Ken.
Absolutely, Vic, and it's happening all over the world. Actually, they're changing their attitude toward just letting everybody in because they're changing their culture. They're not assimilating. They're actually changing to Islam. That's what they're doing, and they're doing it here in the United States too. So,
all right, let's go to audio 15, Ken. Washington Times. This is actually a post by the Washington Times on X. Trump's first 3 cabinet meetings feature more press questions and answers than all of Biden's.
Everybody in this room has access to the most transparent and accessible president in American history. And according to new reporting from the Washington Times, who I believe is in this room today, President Trump answered nearly 100 questions from the press, all of you, during his first 3 open press cabinet meetings this year. That's nearly 20 times the number answered by Joe Biden in cabinet meetings during his entire 4 years in office.
No, wait a minute.
That's true.
So she said not only did he do more, but it's 20 times more than what Biden did his whole term.
It's insane. And here's the great part. Donald Trump knows that Biden was being hid from the press, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever there was a thing at the Oval Office and Joe Biden would try to smell somebody's hair and try to touch a kid, and then his staff would go, okay, thank you, everybody. Everybody out. Everybody out. Get out.
The old man's doing it again. Everybody get out of here.
He's rocking and rolling. Everybody get out.
Let him rock.
So, and President Trump knows that. And when he comes out of the White House, right, to step onto Marine One, he walks right to the pack of press.
Yeah.
If he is anywhere, if he's getting off of Air Force One to go to something, he stops and talks to the press. There was a point yesterday where there was a room where he was in, and I apologize for not knowing exactly what this event was, but you knew he was going to stand there because it had the seal, it had the presidential seal.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for him, and he's talking to the press. Still taking questions from the press.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, thank you, everybody, get out. What?
No, when he gets off the plane, he's so close. You said he walks right up to the press.
He does.
So close that if you remember, somebody hit him with a boom, with that audio boom. Remember that?
I do.
It was so close that she just smacked him. I think she probably got in trouble for it.
Well, you're right. And I guarantee you that they all got a talking to for that. I know you all hate me. Don't hit me in the mic don't hit me in the head with the boom mic. That's just my. Get out, everybody out. So the next one, Ken, is more audio.
Okay.
Audio 14. So before we read this or play the audio, Chris Murphy, who was a senator from Connecticut, was a guest on Meet the Press, right? And the Dems are so stupid. And I don't even mean in what they're saying, the content of what they're saying. They're so stupid because they make every single step that Donald Trump makes the end of the world.
Yes.
And this is the worst. We're going to, because Scott Bessent was on right before him. And he started bad talking Bessent when he got on the show. He said, well, they're going to re-escalate to de-escalate. That's exactly what happened in Vietnam and in Afghanistan. All apples and oranges, by the way.
Completely different.
This is not Vietnam. This is not Afghanistan.
Close.
It's something completely different. And he said the only way that gas prices are going to come down is if we end this war. Very unpatriotically, because if it were me, I would have said, we have to win this war and then end this war.
Yeah.
But they can't say that, right?
Exactly right.
They can't give him credit for that.
No, I liked how you discovered that. I mean, you were in there, you listened to him, and you picked out that word.
And I think it matters. I think it
definitely
definitely matters. And just as an aesthetic point of view, no tie, right? He's got a shirt and no tie.
He's a working man guy.
He didn't even shave.
He's a working man guy.
Oh, my God. He could have went to the Baldwin barbershop and got a shave. I couldn't believe what a scumbag he looked like. You know who he looked like? Eric Swalwell.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Swalwell. Yeah.
No shave on national TV when the camera's right in your face, I think, is a stupid look.
Dirty look.
A dirty look.
Don't give me any dirty looks.
Stinky,
How
dirty.
How dare you give me a dirty look?
So anyway, Ken, you're gonna die when you hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Chris Murphy.
The negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funding, right?
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
So the Democrat Party, let's get this straight, the Democrat Party cares about the illegals more than the American people. That's who they care about most, Vic.
He just said it.
He just said it.
So it's not like can you play it again? Because it's
for
not like,
the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
The people we care about most, the undocumented people in this
illegals,
country.
yeah.
I mean, wow. That's it. Talk about saying that the truth out loud, you know?
Yeah.
That was that. All right, let's get one more in here and close this up. And then before we go to the music and everything, I got one more thing to say, talking about how he looked, no shave and no tie.
Oh, okay.
Finally, one from D.C. Drano. Why are our tax dollars paying for secret congressional sexual harassment settlements, but not keeping our airports running?
Anywhere, y'all. Everywhere, y'all. I heard it on the X.
So, a little more basketball talk, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll come back. Right now, coaches, managers in baseball, the whole protocol has changed, right? The baseball, we always talk about how baseball is different from any other sport because the coach of the team is called the manager, and the manager wears the uniform of the team. Well, during the World Series, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays looked like he was at a Tuesday night beer league softball game. Cut off sweatshirt, you know. Oh, my God, how can... And basketball, too, has changed because they're wearing these neat little sweaters that have the logo of the college and then, of course, the Nike logo or whatever on it. Rick Pitino, coach of St. John's, suit and tie, baby. Because they all used to do that.
Yeah.
They all wore suit and ties while they were coaching, and he still does, and I love that.
And he commands respect.
He's the Don. Right?
Of basketball.
Talk about respect. Right, he's the Don. He's just the Don. Wear a suit and tie.
Just do that.
God. And I don't want to hear, Vic, you wear your hoodies. Yeah, I'm not that important, okay?
Well, you're not going out on the field and representing the whole university.
And seeing me is rarer than hearing me, right? You're supposed to just hear me. God bless the people who do watch on the stream, but you don't have to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what I wear. When the whole country is on you, the whole country's cameras are on you, look good, have your hair done right, have a shave, wear a suit and tie if you're coaching on the sidelines. That's it. I'm done bitching. For now.
Yo, Vic and Ken, you're the best, the absolute best. Keep taking the whoosh to those crazy radical lefties, my brothers.
The Vic Porcelli Show, made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
We will do our best, Mr. President. So I was driving this Sunday. I was just riding to the store, and this house in my neighborhood was getting their roof done, and I didn't see any Connor trucks around, and I'm like, okay, you pick Goober. Good luck with Goober. Guarantee you they'll be there again fixing what they didn't fix already, or calling Connor because the first Goober company screwed it up.
Yeah.
Because Connor is the roofing company that you can trust. Isn't that part of being an American? Somebody you can trust. Kathy and Rob Connor, specializing in residential roofing and repair. And, you know, when we say repair, gutters, right, siding, they'll do anything.
Yeah. Oh, they have a wide variety of things that are happening with that company. They're expanding even, and they do that work with our house right now. They're working on it.
So there you go. Honest estimates, quality work, great customer service, and follow-up. Just go to ConnorRoofing.com, CONNER roofing.com.
Colombo and Company.
The Supreme Court is reportedly on the verge of a ruling that would change mail-in voting laws. We'll fill you in Tuesday with our legal expert, Susie Moore, plus Crane Durham from NothingButTruth.com.
Live and local, weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
Cardinal Nation, it's time to paint the town red.
Opening day of Cardinal baseball at Busch Stadium.
And there's nothing else like it.
It's a St. Louis tradition.
Two things define St. Louis: Cardinal baseball and NewstalkSTL.
Play ball!
Cardinal baseball opening day, March 26th. Backed by our hometown favorites, Best Buy Flooring, Gemini Wealth Management, and Whistle Pig Outdoors.
Cardinal baseball!
If you love your pet, which I know you do, then they deserve the excellent treatment and care they'll receive at Pacific Animal Hospital in Pacific, Missouri, a full-service veterinarian facility. Originally built and grown by my dad, Dr. Bill Jones, a new generation of wonderful veterinarians and staff at Pacific continue to provide outstanding medical, surgical, dental, boarding, and grooming services for your favorite furry friends. Our family entrusts the care of our pets only to the experienced docs and staff at Pacific Animal Hospital. You should too. Call them today, 636-257-2100, 24/7 at PacificVets.com, PacificVets.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hey, it's good to see ya. It's Barrett Grasser here. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Senate Majority Leader Thune, I say this with grace and with kindness. We are not paid influencers. All we want is to secure our elections, because anytime an illegal alien votes, that dilutes a lawful American vote. We the people gave the Republican Party the majority in 2024. We gave them the White House. We gave them the Senate. We gave them the House. And we demand and expect results, and that means the Save America Act.
I love that kid so much. That's Scott Pressler, who doesn't get tired. He's never tired. He just goes and moves. It seems like 20 hours a day.
He's so passionate, and it's amazing. And you know what? It's what do you call it? I had just lost the word. Where it goes on to other people. He actually has that passion, and he just spreads it to other people.
Mm-hmm. And you heard the enthusiasm wherever he was speaking there. The Save America Act is called the Save America Act for a reason, because let's start writing down. Let's make a list of things we're going to start hearing during the elections. Okay.
Okay.
A Democrat saying, well, there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
Yeah.
Sure, great. Let's wait till it's widespread instead of nipping it in the bud when there's none.
No, great point.
If there ever is none.
Right.
The other thing is, this is the most secure election in history.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Is it? That's like playing poker, and you bet, and the guy across the table goes all in, every chip he's got. The question you ask yourself, and maybe even ask that guy out loud, is, why so much? Why are you betting so much? You don't want me to call?
Yeah.
Is that why you're betting so much? Because you're bluffing? Is
Right.
that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Exactly
Most secure
right.
election.
No, and that's the thing, is that it will become a more secure election with the SAVE Act. It won't be completely 100%. I'll tell you what would really help is one day, one vote, one ballot, ID, go.
There it is. One day, one ballot, one vote right on our stream. You can see it there. Kenny made that logo, by the way. Well done there.
Thanks, Vic. It's so important.
I have a solution to this whole thing, and it's so easy, and I can't believe nobody thought of it yet. My solution is no ID for anything. Nothing. Not alcohol, not cigarettes.
Wow.
Not anything.
That'd be a bold move.
Renting a car. Well, what's the difference? If you don't need an ID to vote, then why do I need an ID to do anything?
No, that's a wonderful point.
If I'm renting a car, can I see your ID? Nope. Let's go. Give me the car.
No, I want to go into a bank and then ask for some money, And then they say, well, what's your name? Can I see some identification? Oh, so well, I'm Ken Williams.
Right.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oh, hi, Ken.
Well,
Come
that's
on in.
cool.
Take all the money.
Okay, I got a bunch of names I got a bunch of accounts that say Ken Williams. Which one do you want? Because one has 100,000. The other one has minus $5. Which one would you like?
Right.
Ken Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not giving you an ID, I'll take that one, the $100,000 one.
I think that's the answer. No ID for
Wow,
anything.
Vic. You know, they can't, the left, the Democrat Socialist Party, cannot come up with anything else to back up their stance on the SAVE Act.
Yep.
They're still saying that, people just get married, women just get married, can't get an ID. They just can't.
Can't change their name.
What about men that change their name? Because that does happen.
Why?
When men get married, there's some men that have actually changed their last name to the woman's name. I know, Vic, but they never mention them.
I didn't say anything. What do you mean I know, Vic? I didn't say anything. I did make a face, yes.
Well, okay, a face.
But there's no difference to me. If you walk into anywhere to do anything, can I see some ID? So if you're buying cigarettes or alcohol or you're going to a NC-17 movie, anything that requires an ID, you say, no, I don't have to show an ID.
So what you're saying is kids can walk into a store
Absolutely.
at 15 and get some alcohol.
Absolutely.
Get some
cigarettes. Don't forget
cigs.
the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in Missouri, they could actually get pot.
Right.
Okay.
Anything.
All right.
Anything that you would need an ID for up till now is now rescinded. And you can just walk into anywhere and do whatever you want without ID.
Well, because getting alcohol is so much more important than voting.
Of course. Getting drunk is way more important than voting.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes, way more important.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's ridiculous, but it's, to me, not having an ID to vote is just as ridiculous. Vote without an ID? That's ridiculous.
It is totally ridiculous.
So why I like my plan.
I love it, and they're going to hate it even more because that's their constituency. They brought 20 million people in here for the sole purpose of winning elections against the Republican Party, and that's what they did. They're saying you are attacking the whole function that we had. Opening up that southern border was not easy, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Our lying Mayorkas saying it's a secure border, that was not easy to do with it being wide open like that.
Here's the best example from Ryan09279 in the chat box. Need a gun? No ID needed. Just hop on board.
Good call, Ryan. Yeah, that's true. And forget, you won't need any reciprocal concealed carries across the state lines.
Nope.
Because you don't need anything.
Don't need it.
Which
Don't need
actually,
ID.
we're talking about that. I think that should be that way anyway. But as far as the Second Amendment goes,
I got that.
Yeah.
But I like to go overboard sometimes to make a point, and I think that's what this does. Of course, I don't believe that you shouldn't have an ID that you should have an ID. Wait a minute.
Vic heads know what you're talking about.
I believe you do need an ID to get cigarettes, alcohol, gun, buy into a poker tournament. But I also think that you should, have a ID to vote.
That should be the first thing. Let's okay, everybody. We're going to start having IDs. We're going to require IDs for everything. What should be the first thing you guys think should be? How about voting? That should be the first thing. That is the most important thing you can do as a citizen of a nation is vote.
In California, it's illegal to ask for an ID when somebody comes and votes.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Yeah, you'll get in trouble for asking. If you ask someone for an ID, they will step back and say, "Excuse me, authorities, arrest this person."
You want to shoot him right there from over there? You can shoot. So what if there were two places next door to each other, right? You got your polling place where you vote. Right next door, alcohol, beer, cigarettes, wine, and liquor. And you go to vote and don't need an ID. You want to see my ID? No. Put that away. We can't ask for your ID. We'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I voted. Now I'm going to go next door and go get some beer, cigarettes, wine, and liquor. And when they ask me for my ID, I'll say, no. You're not allowed to ask for ID.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's just for voting. Why? Why would it just be for voting and not for everything else in life?
I'm asked for an ID when I want to get a subscription to an app.
There you go.
I mean, of course, they do it a little bit differently, but you've already entered all the information into your iPhone.
Yep.
That's what they're asking for. Hey, I need this information. It's an ID.
Yep. And,
Every day when I log into my email, I'm asked for an ID.
Right. In a way. Right. Not your driver's license, but yeah.
Well, no, but it's
But
identification.
Absolutely,
Sure.
it's the ID. So yeah, that's another good point. Online porn, no problem. Doesn't matter what grade you're in.
Go ahead.
Sign up. Look at some boobies.
Hey, why aren't any boys in school today?
Well, I don't know. There's no ID for porn anymore. Maybe that's it. So do you get my satire here, Ken?
Yeah, Vic, I do. Everybody gets it, and it's a great point.
Oh, don't say everybody gets it because Democrats.
Okay,
don't get
I mean everybody listening right now.
Everybody
I'd
on
say
our
for the
side
most
gets
part,
it.
yes.
Yeah. I'm sure that Michael Burton doesn't feel that.
No, you're right.
And Scooter doesn't feel that.
No.
way. Boy, he barraged us while you were gone, Burton. Just barraged us with comments.
Well, did you come back at him?
No, because we were out of time.
Yeah, I get it. No, it moves so fast.
We did the Rumble box first, which was just packed, and then the Facebook chat box was packed as well, so we didn't get a chance. I just want to see if anybody's commenting on this exactly thing besides the guns, because I think the guns is the best example. Need a gun? Sure. No ID. And this flies in the face of what the Democrats do. You need an ID, background check, 2-day waiting period to buy a gun. No ID? Sure. Come on in and vote right here, right now.
Yeah, they don't think that far ahead. I mean, they will say that this is a regular thing actually for the left because they don't believe anybody videotapes them anymore. They'll say something and then a year later they'll say the exact opposite, but because it fits their scenario at the moment, they don't care if they lie. They don't care if they switched it up. It doesn't matter to them.
And people don't realize that they're on camera out in the street. Security cameras, right?
Yeah.
Those balls that have the camera inside.
Yeah.
And they just punch somebody in the face and run anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The knockout game and all that stuff. Okay. I know it's not chat box time. Can I do this one too?
Yeah.
Coyote, who's awesome, says the left constantly tells everyone there are millions of people who will be disenfranchised if voter ID is required. But we never see any of these people. Why? Where are they? That's so funny.
Well, that's true. No, produce them. We talked about this last week. If there are all these women that can't vote, that are having trouble getting their identification, bring them forward. Otherwise, shut up.
Right.
Because if you bring a bunch of people forward, then they'll find a solution to the problem. See, they don't want that solution though. That's the biggest thing. They don't want a solution at all for this.
And they don't want to be called out as hypocrites, which they are.
Right.
If you need an ID to get cigarettes or liquor or anything else, then you need an ID to vote, which I think is the most important thing of everything I just listed.
Exactly right. And we know what it comes down to, Vic. It comes down to voting for a Democrat. And they don't care. They do not care who it is that votes as long as that person. Why, for example, why were they so upset? Remember when President Trump kind of said, well, we're going to have how did he put it? I think he was trolling, but he said he wanted ICE agents at polling places. They lost their freaking minds. Why would they? Why would you care if illegals are not even supposed to be there in the first place, Democrats?
Much less vote.
They're not going to vote. I mean, right, Democrats? Why would you even care then? Because they're trying to find ways for them to vote.
Ken, that's unbelievable. You're so right. And when you talk about illegals, they don't even call them illegals, right? They call them undocumented, which, okay, either illegal or undocumented, you still got to have an ID and register to vote. It doesn't matter what the hell you are. If you're a Martian, if you're the green Martian with the antennas coming out, you better assimilate to Earth's ways,
right?
And show some ID when you vote. Now,
and here's how I think there's been a workaround. Like during the Biden administration, they found a workaround, and what it is, once you get your driver's license, then you've got a really good thing to show people in order to get in the voting rolls. Okay. If you show them a driver's license, and you get that driver's license by showing where you live. Well, if you bring in a bill, for example, like a gas bill or something, well, okay, 2 forms of identification. Sure, this proves it. That doesn't prove you're a legal person. That just proves you live here. Well, then you can take that identification, though, and you can move it to becoming a legal person, in other words, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And they found a way, I think they found a workaround there.
I think you're right. And the Supreme Court, maybe with the decision yesterday, will help with this whole voter ID thing, because they have they ruled, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Ruled that the state of Mississippi's mail-in ballots arriving after Election Day can't be counted anymore, which it was okay.
Okay, that's one step closer to one day. I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
But it's a step closer to one day, but a step further away from showing voter ID. Because you're home, you fill out your ballot, and you mail it in.
Yeah.
Right?
They need to get rid of the mail-in thing unless it's for
Exactly.
a disabled
Completely.
person or
Well,
military.
Of course.
Yeah.
And even for them, photocopy your ID.
Yeah, they still require ID.
Excuse me. You have to mail it in, a photocopy of your ID, just to show that you're an American and a citizen.
Vic, who's gonna be able to find a printer to photocopy their ID?
Not people in the suburbs. I mean, in the rural areas.
No, the rural areas.
They don't even have Kinkos out there.
No, and so how are they going to do that? I mean, come on, you're inhibiting their ability to vote, Vic.
I would also like to say that Ed Stoit, when you hear things like that was Kamala that said that, wasn't it? That people out in rural areas can't get to a Kinko's and can't get a ID. When you run it through the Ed Stoit filter, you will find truly that everything Democrats say, the opposite is true.
Exactly right. Okay, I just got a text from some listener, and they didn't leave their name. Hey, Ken, listening to you and Vic, as I do pretty much every morning.
Thank you.
Here's one for you. I had to show my ID to ship a FedEx overnight package to my mom in Florida.
How about that?
Just for that. Also, you have to have a Missouri state ID or a Missouri driver's license to check out books at a county library. Hope you guys are doing awesome, and we are, and thank you very much for that text. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And in your text, you said you listen almost every day. Can we pick that up to every day, please?
Thank you very much. We do appreciate you guys.
Almost every day. One day a week, you guys piss me off, and I'm not listening to you. So. But every day would be great, everybody, okay?
Hi, this is Mark Harder with RE/MAX Results, the region's largest RE/MAX real estate brokerage. It is cold outside, but the real estate market is hot. This is a great time to buy or sell a home. Interest rates are also declining, which gives you more buying power. Someday is not a day on the calendar, but today is. Call me at 314-852-8933 for a free custom home buying plan. 314-852-8933.
Hi, I'm Rodney Wallner.
And I'm Jen Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Jen, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission plan?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What's the best time to sell your home?
Right now, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Town Hall, I'm Rich Thomason. Secretary of State Rubio is preparing to head to France to discuss a host of hot-button issues, including the Iran war, with America's allies.
Rubio will attend a group of 7 foreign ministers meeting near Versailles outside of Paris on Friday to advance key U.S. interests and discuss shared security concerns and opportunities for cooperation. The State Department said in a statement areas of focus will include the Russian-Ukraine war, the situation in the Middle East, and threats across the world to peace and stability. Nearly all of the other G7 nations, Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, have reacted coolly at best to U.S.-Israeli military operations against Iran and have declined to participate. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
President Trump says what he describes as productive talks with Iran could soon end the war, but Iran denies that many discussions have even taken place. American Dennis Coyle is a free man. The academic researcher detained in Afghanistan in January of last year has been released by the Taliban. Secretary of State Rubio welcomes the release, saying that President Trump is committed to ending unjust detentions overseas. Federal investigators are working to determine the cause of Sunday night's deadly collision of a plane and a fire truck on a runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Lead investigator Jennifer Hamady says, don't expect any answers soon.
What I'm going to tell you is we are world-renowned investigators, but we deal in facts. And if we are not able to verify those yet, and we haven't been able to, we can't provide those. 2
pilots were killed in the crash. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has appointed an energy industry executive, Alan Armstrong, to the U.S. Senate seat vacated by newly minted Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are trading lower. The Dow is down about 70 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Health insurance rates are surging in America, leaving millions without affordable options. If you're sick of having paychecks eaten up by healthcare costs or dealing with mega corporations, then listen to this. Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills. There's no enrollment period, so you can join anytime. And you aren't restricted to provider networks, so you choose the doctors and hospitals you want. It's that simple. CHM is not insurance. It's a ministry that puts faith into action. Feel the difference of financial support and biblical care from fellow believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
A pair of really nice days on the way here. Let's start with today. Partly cloudy, mild jackets this morning, but comfy this afternoon, a high of about 63. Mostly cloudy tonight, 46 for the low, and then a warmer Wednesday. We'll climb to 77 under partly cloudy skies. Just plain hot for opening day in St. Louis on Thursday. I'm forecasting a record-breaking high of 91 with some scattered thunderstorms in here Thursday night into early Friday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, hour number 2, ready to roll on 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That guy there, Ken Williams, he's back.
I'm so glad to be back. I had a great time. I want to say thanks to my Uncle Brian down in Tennessee. By the way, we were in Nashville. Oh, my goodness. And I was so jealous because I'm a St. Louisan, man, and I love my city. But, man, they are hopping. Yeah. Nashville, Tennessee is amazing.
Did you go to John Rich's bar?
I went to all the bars, especially.
All the bars?
Yeah, my wife and I, we hopped down in Broadway and went to Kid Rock. We had to go to, what's her guy? She loves, what's his name? Oh, my goodness. I can't believe I'm
Country guy?
No.
Ooh.
Post Malone.
Oh.
And he's got great music. He really does. I just give her trouble. Yeah. But he has a place down there called Posties.
Posties.
Yeah. And so we went in there. I mean, all of them. There are a bunch of them. John Rich, they're all down there, and it was fun.
Did you go to John Rich's bar?
I believe I did.
Okay.
We went to a bunch of different ones. Not saying we drank at every single one of them.
You're alcoholics, of course.
You know, but we had a good time.
So listen,
Nashville was hopping, guys.
Well, that's where everybody's going.
I know, but cranes everywhere, Vic. It's growing.
What's the nightlife safe? Right, walk around at night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you probably have to watch. There were a couple fights, fist fights, but the cops were there. They had this thing. Actually, there are people that help the police. They wear these bright-colored vests, and they're assistants. They just walk.
I love that idea.
They stand on the corners, and if you need help going, because you might need directions. A lot of tourist people are there, which would be great for St. Louis, by the way.
Yeah.
They have these people who help on the corners, and we went up. I wanted to find out about them, and they said, "Yeah, that's all we do is we just assist the police, and if there's a problem, we call them real quick, and they're here." And he said they're all over the place. He said,
So if you want to do that, be one of those people that help police, do you have to show ID to get that job?
Probably. I would bet.
Interesting. So, Post Malone. I want to think about Post Malone. You know those memes that are like 2-part memes, and it'll be like a real picture, a real close picture of Glenn Close. And and then it'll say Glenn Close but no cigar. Well, I'm sorry. The first picture, she's got a cigar in her mouth.
Oh, okay.
And the second one, Glenn Close, and then Glenn Close, Glenn far away. Those kind of things. I wanted to do one that said Post Malone.
Yeah.
And then like a picture of like sperm, and that's pre-Malone.
Pre-Malone.
Right?
Right.
Post Malone, you had to be the pre-Malone. Somebody do that. Nick. Somebody. Post Malone, pre-Malone. I think it's a good
I like
analogy. All right, Ken. I forgot what you wanted to talk about here. What did we? I picked the thing, didn't I? Didn't I pick a sound? Wow. This is bad.
Yeah, you actually did. And it's, let me see here. We were talking, well, no, that's later.
Oh, my God, this show is going in the trash. Holy cow. I'm glad Jeff's not in town to listen to this.
He is listening right
now. I got it. We wanted to hear from, I don't know. Do you know, Ken?
No.
How did I get this job? I don't understand how I got this job. We did.
Don't you cuss on this here radio?
I didn't. Almost.
Maybe you did.
But I didn't. I felt like it, but I didn't. Oh, ICE at the airports.
Yes.
So, and The Pit. You know the show The Pit?
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be an emergency room. And the idea for this show is fascinating because it's all in real time. You know how sometimes it'll be like something happens and then you know that the next scene is a week later or something like that?
Yeah.
This is all the same hour, 3 to 4 p.m. on a certain date.
Oh, okay.
And it's in real time. So I watched this with a nurse that I know.
Is her name Jessica?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And first of all, I can't watch this show without her. Let's start there. Because all the big words for the medicines and the, ailments and diseases and things, and it takes us 3 hours to get through the hour show. I'll pause it. What does that mean? Oh, that's this drug that does this.
Well, is that appointment viewing also? Because my wife and I, we have a certain couple of different shows that we can't watch if the other one's not around.
No, mine's just for intelligence reasons.
Oh,
I'm stupid, I'm dumb, and she's smart.
No,
and
but I can see why it would be more fun for you to have her there.
Yeah, and that's her bag.
Right,
medicine, it's her bag.
It's her wheelhouse.
It's her wheelhouse. So this very last episode, they had a woman who was brought in by ICE, 2 guys from ICE. And she had hurt her shoulder. Something happened where she, tore her shoulder and, rotator cuff or something like that. And the ICE guys bring him in. One's got a mask on over his face. It was like every bad thing that you hear about ICE that isn't true to begin with, they point out right in your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's the part that really got my wife agitated. The lady was in the treatment room, the undocumented, illegal alien, was in a treatment room, and the ICE guy was standing by the nurse station, right? So the whole premise of the show was you're upsetting people by standing out here. People are leaving. You're intimidating people. And my wife said, first of all, they would never leave that person in the treatment room. They would be with them, cuffed to the bed, you know.
Yeah, right.
They would never walk away
from
somebody that they're trying to deport. And so she thought that was unrealistic. And I read that the creators of this show really wanted to bring out the ICE thing to show how intimidating and how terrible they are.
Yeah, well, I was watching some video on social media about ICE at the airports, and people were walking around and they were talking to the...
I was going to get there.
Oh, okay.
I was going to pivot from the pit to the airports.
Okay.
Let me finish with the pit, and then we'll move on to the airports. Unless you want to do the airports now.
No.
And then we can go back to the pit.
I want to hear more about the pit.
Well, the thing is the show would have been so great. I would have said it. My wife would have said it. If they even if ICE agents bring an illegal into the hospital to get her treatment before they take her to go deport her, if they stayed with her in that treatment room, my wife would have bought it. Okay, but they didn't. They stood right by the nurse's station, so everybody sees them that they work for ICE.
That was the whole point of the directors wanting that to happen, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're triggering people, and you're making people feel very uncomfortable. People are leaving and not getting treatment because they're undocumented. That's the word they were using. Sorry. And they bring out more than once, even illegals deserve treatment from a hospital. Did you know that? Makes sense, right?
Well, yeah, it makes sense, but there needs to be something to keep them from having to be there.
I wonder if they have to show ID.
Not illegals don't. No, illegals don't.
Not under my plan. Nobody's got to show ID for anything.
No, because according to Chris Murphy, they're the most important people in America to them, the Democrat Socialist Party, the illegals I'm talking about.
Right.
So they don't need an ID.
Right.
They can do whatever they want.
I think people think we're lying. Can you play number 14 again, just so people understand that he really did truly say that?
Yeah, I'll play from the point that he said it.
For the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
Now,
undocumented Americans, he said. He said Americans. It pisses me off.
If you voted for Chris Murphy, if you're listening from Connecticut, and you voted for Chris Murphy, he cares more about illegal aliens than he does you. And he just proved it right there. He just admitted it there.
That's not AI.
For the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that...
You know what? Put on a tie and shave.
Yeah.
God's sakes. Okay, now let's get on to ICE at the airport.
Ooh, the airport. That'd be a good topic.
Wow, I swear to God, I didn't miss you for 1 minute last 2 days. No, it's not true. So what did the left say? Oh my God, did you hear what Hakeem Jeffries had to say about this?
No, tell me, please.
He said that ICE at the airports will maim or even kill people at the airport.
They are desperate. No, that is desperation. When you hear Hakeem Jeffries talk with his hands and make sure that everyone understands his point of view is a complete lie. I mean, that's him. Any word that comes out of his mouth is a lie.
Yep.
It is, Vic.
I just want to make sure I don't want to get his quote wrong because I don't want to be accused of
get his lie wrong.
Misquote.
You don't want to mislie him.
Right. We want to make sure his lie is accurate. The House Minority Leader accused ICE of being untrained at their current job and would only wreak havoc at the airports. And he said ICE at airports all across the country potentially will brutalize or in some instances kill people at the airport. So
come on. Yeah, so basically what he's saying is that DHS is allowing a bunch of untrained people, probably white men for the most part, according to Hakeem Jeffries, with guns to go into the airport. That's it.
Okay.
To go into the airport with guns.
That's so funny. So anyway, what's the actual result of ICE at the airports? Everything's calm. People are getting through the lines quicker. And nobody's been brutalized or killed by an ICE agent in any airport in the entire United States of America.
Here's an example right here, Vic.
ICE agents are now at the airport. The Trump administration says they'll be helping out TSA workers with security at airports across the country. We received a statement from Homeland Security over the last 24 hours or so that says, quote, President Trump is using every tool available to help American travelers who are facing hours-long lines at airports across the country, end quote. Several TSA officers have either quit or called off as they are not getting paid during this partial government shutdown. That's at airports all over the country.
And that's the fault of the Democrat Party. It sits in their lap again like the last shutdown, period.
Where does that report come from?
That one was that was just a local.
Oh, that was just a person.
Yeah, local reporter. But they went on to say.
Oh, that was number 7.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And then there's also number 6.
Let's hear that.
We've been seeing these ICE agents out here today managing lines, helping with crowd control, just like Borders Czar Tom Homan said they would. And again, lines have been a little bit better the last few hours.
No, this is a person from and you say, well, a little bit better. She had to admit that.
But still unusually long as TSA workers continue to go without pay. Former DHS Secretary Chad Wolf said ICE is here because President Trump is frustrated, like the millions of traveling Americans.
So much to say there. Senator John Kennedy has proposed senators and representatives don't get paid until this whole shutdown is over.
I'm surprised none have come forward to say that, or have people said that.
I only heard him say it. Of course, I heard a lot of people reject that notion.
Sure, but I'm surprised that not one, even like a Freedom Caucus person from the United States, the federal government, to come up and say, yes, I'm not going to take a paycheck until it's done.
Hell, Elon Musk offered to pay the ICE, the TSA agents while this is going on.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. So everything is just copacetic at the airports. Nobody's getting brutalized.
Well, that's my point.
Or
and
killed.
what I was going to say earlier, and I interrupted.
You did?
But yeah.
Well, that never happens.
Never. I saw these videos. I unplugged over the weekend, but I did get on X once in a while, and I saw these videos. And they were of TSA agents just newly coming into the airports and walking around, and people were talking with them. I mean, if it depends on where you get it. If you get it from the Today Show, it's going to be like they're going to look like they're armed and ready to go. I just saw on the Chiron there them talking. Someone was saying that, see, look, here's a snapshot of ICE agents standing around and looking at their phones. They might have been in a Zoom meeting. We don't know what they were doing. They were all looking at the phone.
You know why they put that picture up is because look, the TSA guys work hard and they're not getting paid. These ICE agents are getting paid and they're looking at their phones. That's what they're trying to say. I think that the TSA agents not getting paid is bad. You know, so
yeah.
I agree with that part of it. But don't get on the ICE agents because they could have been all looking at orders.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I just said.
You know,
you're not listening to me.
Oh God.
No, you always say, yeah. What? I said they were all looking. It could have been a Zoom meeting.
Oh, so you didn't say taking orders.
At a Zoom meeting.
Well, you said Zoom meeting. That could be
a Zoom meeting. Okay.
Afternoon tea. A little field trip going on.
Getting ready for their big day.
No, you're right, Ken. I'm sorry, I missed that.
It could have been.
But it could have been. It absolutely could have been. And they're getting paid. So they're terrible people because they're getting paid. And TSA people are not getting paid. And they're the heroes.
But that's how the Democrat Party does not even have that foresight. When they shut down the government for DHS, they thought, oh, we'll get those ICE agents. They're not going to get paid now. No, guess what? You voted them to get paid already.
You shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
Got it. So speaking of DHS,
yeah,
we have a new secretary.
We do.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah, we do.
He was voted in 54 to 45, mostly along party lines. I don't like the way the news is portraying this, that the vote was along party lines, because if you have one person, it depends upon who you're talking to, who's doing the talking, right? Mainstream media will say, oh, just a party lines. I voted about party lines. And then other people say, well, it was bipartisan because some people didn't vote for it. Some people did vote. Like 3 Democrats voted for Markwayne Mullin. Rand Paul voted against them. That's not voting along party lines.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No, you're totally right. But the problem is, Vic, is that the Democrat Party and, well, the media, their propaganda wing, they thrive on division, as we always say.
Mm-hmm.
And so for them to say, well, that was bipartisan, that would have been derogatory to what the narrative they normally spew.
So 2 senators, I'm sorry, I was wrong there. 2 senators, Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania voted for Markwayne Mullin, and Martin Heinrich of New Mexico also voted to confirm Mullin. And as I mentioned, Senator Rand Paul opposed Mullin, and I truly believe in my heart of hearts that's personal, not business, because Markwayne Mullin made fun of Rand Paul getting attacked, which probably wasn't a good thing to do, but he did it, and he's not, it's not against the law. But I don't think policy had anything to do with Rand Paul opposing Markwayne Mullin to be the DHS secretary.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a hypocrite because I love the way Rand Paul took care of Dr. Fauci at the House Senate committees.
Dr. Poole, you don't know what you're talking about.
So, okay, I just want to go back, Ken. You may be sick of hearing this, but I want to say it one more time. When Markwayne Mullin testified in front of a Senate committee during confirmation hearings, sitting right behind Markwayne Mullin and to his right was Sean O'Brien, the Teamsters president, who, if you remember, Ken, Markwayne Mullin and Sean O'Brien were going to go at it at a former Senate committee hearing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they were going to go at it. They're ready to take off their jackets and go.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But good thing we had Bernie Sanders. Stop it. You're U.S. Senator. Stop it. But listen now, why was Sean O'Brien sitting behind Markwayne Mullin?
Right.
He was sitting there to support Markwayne Mullin. They're now best of friends since that little incident. Okay? Now, what else is going on in the country as far as trucks go? Guys driving trucks that can't read. They can't read traffic signs. Truck drivers are the Teamsters.
Yep.
So, Sean O'Brien certainly doesn't want the Teamsters union to be looked at with an evil eye if they're having people who can't read.
Yeah.
And who are illegal. So now they're buddy-buddy so that he can make it look good for the Teamsters.
There you go.
We're going to do about it.
We can.
All right, coming up next, Looney Tunes on News Talk STL.
And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken.
They don't know what the they're doing.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Looking for an underwater adventure or a scaly new friend? Dive into Tropical World Pets on Watson Road. For 32 years, this family-owned wonderland has been St. Louis's go-to destination for all things aquatic and reptilian. With over 7,000 square feet of aquariums, we're home to the area's largest selection of freshwater fish, including rare cichlids you won't find anywhere else. But that's not all. We've got tarantulas, snakes, and lizards galore. Tropical World Pets, 314-849-4020, or visit twpstl.com.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't final. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Download the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
Love the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
On my way to work in the morning.
Usually I'm in the car.
I listen on the app in my car every morning going to work.
Download the NewstalkSTL app and listen anytime, anywhere. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world.
If they have to pay out $159 billion.
Not for $100 billion, million, trillion dollars.
Over $1 billion, $300 million, $300 million.
You're crazy. I know you are, but what am I?
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
How dare they say anything about President Trump's cognitive ability when that's the way their president talks?
Yeah.
All right, when we went into break there, Ken, when the mics were off, I told you I wanted to add something to this, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, I do remember what it was. So Hakeem Jeffries said that ICE at the airports will brutalize and possibly kill people at the airports. Now, what have you heard from Republicans, conservative outlets saying about that statement? Is anybody being on the offensive and telling him how ridiculous he is?
They should have gotten right on the microphone and said he is out of his mind.
Well, why haven't they done that?
No, I know.
They don't want
You're right. You are so right.
I can't win the election for them, okay?
No.
I'm too tired. I can't do it.
No, we just can't do it.
All right. It's time for Looney Tunes! Now, Ken... My bad. So, I don't think this has ever happened before, but I want to make sure. Number two, we're going to start with number two. We have to, within Looney Tunes, fire up the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
And set the dials to August 2022. All right, here we are. In August of 2022, President Trump is not president yet again. Joe Biden is. Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York, and she does. If you want to leave, New York for Florida. You don't have our kind of morals.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong. Okay, get out of town. Get out of town, because you don't represent our values.
Huh.
Get on out.
So I just want to make sure I got this right. So Trump and Lee Zeldin, and I don't know who Molinaro is, might be the local mafia don. I have no idea who Molinaro is. Get out of here. You don't have our you just get on your bus and go back to Florida.
All of you, yeah.
All right, can get us back to 2026, and let's see how she feels about... I got to learn how to talk backwards better.
Adjust that a little bit, okay.
Now, how does she feel?
I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home.
Now, why would she want those people that don't have her values come back to New York?
Can I ask a silly question?
Go ahead, Ken.
Please, because I aspire to be a millionaire someday.
Uh-huh.
I probably never will, but it would be fun.
Sure.
It would be nice. But I guarantee you, if I did become a millionaire in any way, shape, or form, I would never go back to a place that's going to take my money away.
Well, they asked you to leave. Because you don't have their values, same values as them. So get out. Go back. Oh, wait. But you're going to pay more in taxes than the regular person. So could you come back?
Now, you still don't have the same values.
Right.
But
we don't care anymore.
We
don't care about your values anymore.
It just makes no sense to me, Vic. I mean, it's crazy.
You know, what makes no sense? That an idiot is the governor of New York?
Well, that part, yeah. Her even suggesting that people, hey, come on back from Florida and give me some money. Start cutting the checks. I mean, Vic, this is a Democrat socialist we're talking about. Think about her world. You need to start cutting checks, people.
Right.
Because we're down. We're down on money. We don't have. You want all of these gracious programs, these wonderful programs that we put in place for you, but we don't have the money.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do?
What are you going to do?
Oh, you want me to stop this program? No. We want more money. Now, come on up, cut them checks.
When Zohran
Mamdani.
Mamdani was running for mayor in New York, everybody was like, well, I hope he wins. I hope they find out that, socialism isn't a good thing.
You're talking about me, right?
Did you say that?
Yeah, I remember because you said, I don't like that.
Well, here's what I said. I said, oh, you want to that's an expensive lesson. So you're going to absolutely crumble New York City and then have years, maybe decades to build it back? That's what you want? That's the experiment you want to win? That's a costly experiment, was all I was saying.
You're right, and I'm going to stick to what I said before, and I think he's hiding behind that socialism with Islam. I believe that his real goal is not socialism. He's saying, okay, this is nice. This is what we're going to do. Everybody look over here at socialism and socialism. Meanwhile, he's having these meetings on the floor with rugs in the mayor's office. He's putting these Islamic prayer rugs over the 9/11 statuette, the remembrance of 9/11 victims.
At Ground Zero?
At Ground Zero, yeah. You didn't read about that? Come on.
I read about it.
You did. I know you did.
I'm just trying to emphasize what you're saying.
I know, and it's really upsetting me.
Me?
No, you aren't, but that whole idea that they put those prayer rugs on top of these victims of 9/11, it just, I can't believe that this is happening in the city where so many people died because of the Islamic people.
In 2010, I was working in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, at a conservative station up there, and Rudolph Giuliani came to town to speak for, I can't think of, Bill Brady, I think his name was. He was a state senator running for mayor. I'm running for governor, and it was this little room, and Mayor Giuliani's in there, and he's speaking. And I was not known by, all these people up there that work at news stations in Bloomington, Illinois, think they're like, the Washington Post. So there was no more time for any questions. So I didn't give a darn. And I walked up to Mayor Giuliani, and I said, Mayor, one quick question. The imam, there was an imam that was making trouble at Ground Zero. He said, the imam doesn't think that Ground Zero is hallowed ground. What do you think about that? And he gave me a great answer. Right? I don't even remember what he said, but it was a great answer. So I went back to my hotel room, and I got out my computer and my Adobe Audition, and I did a rap. A rap is when you introduce the quote, and then you hear the quote, then you come back and wrap it up. And they used it on Fox News on the top of the hour.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Fox News Radio, which is still in business, by the way.
Yeah.
And CBS News Radio is going away. Yeah,
right.
May 22nd. All right, let's hear number one, Ken. On Looney Tunes, Chicago older woman Maria Haddon.
All the time, right? And they go out on the pier, they walk around. So the kids were out doing normal things people do in the neighborhood. And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally.
18-year-old, what?
Go ahead.
18-year-old girl killed by an illegal alien in Chicago was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
That, I cannot even imagine being a parent, being a family member, and hearing them talk about her that way. Sheridan Gorman, an 18-year-old going to Loyola University. I can only relate to it because of my younger daughter who's in college, going with a bunch of friends, having a great time. They're on a pier, and they're just having a fantastic time. And this guy, she's saying that they startled him, okay? At a pier with a bunch of people, they startled him. Apparently, she was running away from him, Vic, and got shot in the head.
So, an illegal with a gun doesn't startle you, does it?
No. I see that every day.
But being a college student, 18-year-old college student, and you have a gun and you're startled, You gave me a fright.
I can't believe this person who represents people in Chicago actually said that.
Yep. Just at the wrong place at the wrong time. We got time for one more, Kenny?
Yeah.
Let's do number 14. You know what? On Mondays we do this game show called That's Crap. Normally every day should be a different contestant, but some people are just so full of crap we have to have them on more than once.
To get rid of all that crap, yeah.
And we've had Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy on more than once on That's Crap. And he was on Meet the Press. This is not a clip from Meet the Press, but I do want to mention that when he was on Meet the Press, he had no tie. His face was 4 days unshaven. Really? That's how you want to present yourself to the American public?
Anything. If they say hi to you, I'm talking about a Democrat socialist at this point. If they do anything, it's for a reason. There was no accident that he was unshaven and unkempt.
Really?
Oh, it made you think. He wanted you to think, well, I'm hard at work here. You know, these people are.
Wow.
You know, they're out there. I'm working hard I'm staying here. I'm working.
Ken, that's a great observation and a great theory. I love that. And
I just don't trust him that much.
Oh, of course, I don't either. But you want to know the truth? Let's look at Chris Murphy on how he looked on Meet the Press, no tie, unshaven. And now let's compare that to Rick Pitino, the head coach of St. John's basketball, who had a suit and tie on, clean shaven.
Yeah.
And coaching the team in front of the bench with the shirt and tie on. That's the way it used to be in basketball.
Right.
And now we've changed to some slovenly country. And, you know, I said the same thing about poker. You know, poker gets a bad rap sometimes. You know, you think of a poker game, smoky room and bar, and there's a cheater there pulling aces out of his sleeve and stuff. So if people have a negative connotation of poker and you're playing in the World Series of Poker for millions of dollars, my God, put a tie on.
Well, I guarantee you, he's walking off the set, scratching his face, saying, "Man, I can't wait till I'm able to shave my face."
You're probably right.
They have a thing that anything they do, a Democrat I'm talking about, there's a reason for it. It's not just by accident.
Well, we know who's most important to Senator Murphy, and it ain't us.
The negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funding, right?
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
The most important. All right, that's all the time we have for Looney Tunes. I don't know how they think. I don't know how they tie their shoes in the morning. I really don't. That's how stupid they are. Let's go to the West Coast. Drew Thomas Allen. He's next.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Now, my mamaw died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through things, we found 19 loaded handguns.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new Newstalk STL app.
And listen anytime, anywhere.
Hey, it's Vic Porcelli, and my favorite sandwich from Capriati's is the Wagyu beef French dip. So good. It's the au jus that makes it. And the Wagyu beef is pretty good, too. I love Capriati's, and you will, too.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill. Now, the Free Market Minute, brought to you by the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University.
Hey, it's Mike Ferguson from The Morning Show, and I'm here with Dr. Grant Black. And Grant, does having more economic freedom make a difference in people's lives, such as maybe helping reduce poverty?
It definitely makes a difference. Economic freedom is critical for fostering well-being and prosperity. It enables people to make their own choices and pursue their own interest. like choosing careers, starting businesses, and innovating to make the world better. It thrives in environments that empower people, promote competition, and protect property rights, all while being supported by limited and healthy government. Economic freedom is a catalyst for generating higher incomes, greater wealth, more opportunities, better access to education, and improved health at all levels of society. It makes a difference.
The John W. Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University fosters and examines market-oriented approaches to economic and social issues. To learn more, visit hammondinstitute.org.
Tim Jones here to introduce you to your new favorite roofing company, Corel Roofing. There were 4 major storms last year. Did your roof take a hit? Do you even know? Most homeowner insurance policies require claims to be filed within 1 year, so time's running out for a closer look. At Corel Roofing Company, you get a local roofing specialist who will advocate for you every step of the way. Give yourself peace of mind. Schedule your roof inspection today with Corel Roofing at CorelRoofingCo.com. That's CorelRoofingCo.com.
Fox News Commentary with Guy Benson, next.
Most investments today feel like second jobs. Real estate, you're a landlord. Stocks, you're a day trader. Crypto, you're a full-time researcher. You've got a life to live. Your investment should help you live it. That's why more Americans are choosing gold. Noble Gold has helped thousands protect their future with real physical gold. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com to get your free wealth protection kit. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Here's Guy Benson.
If you want to hate Donald Trump and everything that he does, have at it. But once he has made a decision to go after and try to destroy the military and long-range missiles capabilities and nuclear program and ambitions of the most consistently deadly anti-American pro-terrorism regime on the planet, trying to make it seem like we're losing when we're winning is quite a choice. You can have criticisms of the operation. You can have questions about whether it was the right idea. But trying to declare, as people have in the opening days and then opening weeks of a wildly successful military operation, to just declare, oh, well, look, it's a disaster and everyone knows it. That bears almost no resemblance at all to the actual reality.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Columbo and Company.
The Supreme Court is reportedly on the verge of a ruling that would change mail-in voting laws. We'll fill you in Tuesday with our legal expert, Susie Moore, plus Crane Durham from NothingButTruth.com.
Live and local, weekdays at 2 on Newstalk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken. Vic has great hair. Ken has great, baseball caps? The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 Newstalk STL.
All right. The book is called For Christ and Country, The Martyrdom of Charlie Kirk. He's got an even newer book than that. Is that right, Ken?
Yes.
That's great. And his name is Drew Thomas Allen. He joins us every Tuesday at this time. Hi, Drew. How are you?
Drew Allen of the Drew Allen Show podcast.
It's people who love this country and respect freedom and want to preserve it for the future. You know, it really shouldn't be political.
Amico mio, come stai?
Ciao, buongiorno, Ciccio. Sono molto contento.
All right. How's everything in the communist state of California this morning, Drew?
Oh, it's about as communist as ever.
Listen to this. Yesterday, we talked to a guy, and I don't even remember his name. That's how unmemorable he was. Sean Comlinson or something like that. Black guy running for lieutenant governor in California. And if you go to the California governor race page, everybody's a D and an R except this guy, who is an independent. He's got an I. And I asked him, do you think that Gavin Newsom is a bad governor? And he just...
Did he really?
Not a word. He roundabout, this and that, analogy here, analogy there. And I said, maybe I made a mistake in the way I asked you the question, Do you think that Gavin Newsom is a bad governor? And he wouldn't say. So he's wishy-washy, squishy. I don't think you want him, is what I'm saying, as your lieutenant governor.
Interesting. Yeah, if you can't condemn Gavin Newsom, there's a problem. It's not a Democrat-Republican issue. He's destroyed the state.
I even brought up when he was eating at the French Laundry where other people were hiding away with masks on in their homes during COVID, and he didn't say anything about that.
Mm.
So I want you to do something about him. I want to put a hit out on him, all right?
Killer.
I'll put Sally Bones on it.
Oh, great.
Wait, you got a problem with Sally Bones?
No, not Sally Bones at all.
Okay. I just want to see if I can remember the guy's name. Here we go. No, that's governor. I don't know. But anyway, you guys are in trouble, man. You're really in trouble. Are you going to stay there? Or are you going to come to like a nice state like ours?
I talk about it every day, every week. You know, I mean, we have an escape plan. We've talked about actually going out to Idaho, just to be close to my wife's father lives there, and you know, I mean, look, yes, there's all the serious problems with California, and on top of that, we just, you know, we're on an island. I mean, the hard thing is we have amazing friends here. You know, I've built quite a network, even just amongst conservatives, being kind of a leader out here because I'm one of the few people who's unabashed and, you know, public, and my career is this. So, you know, people feel very comfortable and drawn to me. But, you know, we're raising two girls without any help from any grandparents or anything. And this is a different segment for the show, but I like this because your audience has known me for so long, and you guys have. But, you know, my wife and I went on our first date in 3 years without any kid last week or a week and a half ago because my mom came out and stayed with us for a week and was really helpful. But, you know, look, you gotta, you know, it's a hard balancing act. You know, you got to prioritize your relationship, you know, with your wife, with your spouse, so that everything else is good too. And my wife and I are good, but, you know, it's hard. It's challenging doing everything without any help. And a lot of the people around us have a robust support system, and their life is, I'd say their quality of life is better than ours in the sense that, you know, they can get away and just get an hour alone without the kids. And we haven't had that. So yeah, I mean, first date in 3 years. And we went and saddled up to a bar at a restaurant that was close to us in town, not far away. And it was just unbelievably relaxing.
Fantastic. You need that once in a while.
Yeah.
You really need to get
more
out.
More often than once every 3 years.
No, absolutely, yeah. All right, so that guy's name was Sean Collinson, running for lieutenant governor, no party preference. 10 other people running against him. So I don't know. You're in bad shape there. The only Republicans. Wait, is there a Republican on here? Oh yeah, David Fennell, Brian Jones, and Ebby Lynch. That's it. All the rest are Democrats.
Yeah.
What a terrible state, Drew.
Hey, Drew. What about Steve Hilton?
That's governor.
How's he? I know, but how's he doing?
I mean, he's made great strides. I mean, I went to a fundraiser for him, I want to say last year, you know, just as things were starting, you know, getting started. And it was just him and Sheriff Chad Bianco that were kind of in the race at that point. And, you know, it looked pretty hopeless back then. I mean, you know, you're a cautious optimist, but I'd say where he is now compared to whenever that was, a year ago or so, you know, he's made a lot of traction. It's just such a, you know, basically no Democrat in the state appears willing to vote for someone who is a Republican because they have Trump derangement syndrome. And I've been doing all these columns, video op-eds over at the Daily Signal, just explaining the insanity of California and, you know, Gavin Newsom's failures. He doesn't have a single success. And yet, you know, Democrats are going to continue to vote Democrat. I mean, Gavin Newsom and all these candidates aren't even running to improve California. They're running against Donald Trump. And if you go through the list of crises in California, Donald Trump didn't have a single thing to do with any of them. He didn't have anything to do with the homeless situation here. He's not responsible for the failed education system. He's not responsible for us being dead last in affordability. He's not responsible for our gas prices because of the $+ tax that's added on top of every gallon of gas you buy here because of Sacramento. He's not responsible for any of it. And in fact, if you know, all these Democrat candidates want to run as, you know, making California a bulwark against Donald Trump, but if they would just implement a fraction of Donald Trump's policies or positions, they would solve at least 50% of California's problems overnight.
So let's talk about your investigation into gas prices. You just mentioned $1 a gallon in taxes. What else did you find out in your gas price investigation?
Well, so first off, I mean, you've got all these different taxes. You've got an excise tax, which is, close to 50 cents. And then you've got, we're still doing cap and trade. They still want to phase out gas-powered vehicles, even though the Trump administration got rid of the Biden plan to do that. So California is still pursuing those failed Biden policies. We had, I think, 50 refineries, 20 years ago or something like that, maybe a little longer than that. Now there's 14. We've lost, 3 or 4 just over the past 2 years. So we don't have any refining ability. And we import all of our gas from the Middle East. It's insane. California is an energy-rich state. I mean, we have tons of black gold underneath the dirt here. And instead of, California could have the cheapest gas in the country, period. But instead, they continue to penalize and go after these gas companies, oil companies. And think about how insane it is that you would continue to import oil from like Saudi Arabia and Ecuador when you have it right here in California.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe they're still on the electric car thing after all these years.
Yeah.
And proven that how not good for the economy of your own family in electric cars. So what is, when you got gas last, how much did you pay a gallon?
Oh gosh, it was about $6.
$6 a gallon. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and that's because we got the car a couple of years ago when we had our second kid. And we got a big Ford Expedition Max, and it actually doesn't take, it takes, regular 87 out here is what it's called, gas, which is, the cheapest, as opposed to being premium, like if you had a Range Rover or something like that. So even the cheapest gas is, the most expensive in the country.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, we're at what, about 360 here right now. Anyway, you know what? I want to talk about your new book, Clinton Hoax, Obama Coup. What's that all about? Well, I guess we know what it's all about. Give us some details.
Well, this is the most profound book I've written in terms of depth of research. I started writing it last August, actually, right around the time that Tulsi Gabbard declassified the memos and whatnot related to Trump-Russia collusion. And there have been a number of books written about Trump-Russia collusion that are quite good, but nothing had been declassified, so they're not complete. So this is the only book that incorporates the declassified information, and there's just bombshell after bombshell in this book. And I want to force accountability. I want people to go to prison at a bare minimum. Worst case scenario, the American people can finally read this book and understand just how bad it was. Just to give you an idea of just one of the grossest, corrupt examples is that the FBI and the CIA were intercepting Russian memos. These were Putin spies that were spying on Obama, the DNC, and Trump himself. And so obviously it wasn't propaganda. It was intended for the Kremlin. So obviously it needed to be accurate. And of course, you can look at what's in the memos and then look at what actually happened. And in fact, the great irony of all of this is that the most comprehensive and truthful account of what the Democrats and Clinton did is it can be attributed to the Russians, of all people. And so at the same time that the FBI and the intelligence community was reading and reviewing documents that explained that Clinton was planning to tie Donald Trump to Russia, that Loretta Lynch, the attorney general at the time, had established a back channel between Hillary Clinton to give her updates about the investigation into her Clinton Foundation and the email scandal. At the same time they're reading this, they're dismissing it as, basically unverified. They call it raw intelligence, right? So they're dismissing this as raw intelligence and making the decision not to pursue any of the leads or even corroborate it. And so while they're dismissing this, they are actually using raw intelligence from the Steele dossier, which was untrue and unfounded, to justify spying on the Trump campaign. That's how insane the whole saga was.
Exactly right. Can I read a review of the book on Amazon? Is
Absolutely.
That okay? This is a review of the book by somebody named John. who says the only book that actually makes this nightmare make sense. Bombshells everywhere. I've read every book, watched every hearing, and followed this Russia hoax crap for years. It's always felt like a confusing swamp of names, dates, and redacted documents that never quite add up. Until this one, Drew Thomas Allen is the first author who actually cracked it open and explained it like a normal person. I think that's the best part about it, is just like a normal, real, not elitist person.
Yeah.
Clear, no-nonsense storytelling that turns the whole Clinton to Obama coup timeline into something you can finally wrap your head around without needing a law degree. And the bombshells, holy crap. That's what it says. Holy crap. So you got a good review there. We'll take that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want people to understand this story because, you know, it's a poison that's still coursing through this nation's veins because there's never been accountability. And, you know, this book starts with Benghazi because if you hadn't had Benghazi, you wouldn't have had an investigation that exposed the Clinton scandal with the emails and then, of course, the pay-to-play with the Clinton Foundation while she was Secretary of State. And if you hadn't had those scandals plaguing her as she entered the 2016 election, there would have been no need to come up with something so insane to distract from those scandals. And the reason I also start with Benghazi is because the Obama administration is when you really had the poison enter the body politic because, you know, I remind people about how he weaponized the intelligence community, the FBI, et cetera, to cover up what happened at Fort Hood. Remember, you had a Muslim jihadist, army captain. Yep, exactly. He shot up and murdered 13 Americans, and he jumped on a table with two pistols and yelled Allahu Akbar. He'd been communicating with Anwar al-Awlaki, the most prominent English-speaking propagandist for Al-Qaeda. And so we knew that it was an act of terror. And yet Mueller was involved also, by the way, Robert Mueller, who just passed away, in helping basically bury that and allow him to name it workplace violence. And so you see him using the intelligence community to bend to his will. And then, of course, Benghazi was the most prevalent example because everyone knew that it was an act of premeditated terror that killed Ambassador Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans, including 2 Navy SEALs. And that was the assessment that the CIA had. Everyone knew it. On the night that it happened, Hillary Clinton, of course, was emailing, you know, her daughter with an alias and others saying, yeah, this was, you know, an Al-Qaeda, you know, linked group, adjacent group that carried this out. And then you had Barack Obama and others go out there and lie because it was an election season. I mean, look, he had the CIA revised, and the order. This was a bombshell that came out years later with the investigation. But everyone thought that Clinton was covering up. It wasn't Clinton; it was Barack Obama and his White House. So they did this to get him reelected.
Great stuff. Clinton hoax, Obama coup, declassified story of Trump and Russia's illusion. On sale now at Amazon. Go get it by our great friend Drew Thomas Allen. Thank you, Drew. We'll talk next week, sir.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.
Hey, see you, brother.
Cool title.
Yeah.
Great review.
I'm getting it.
Because it's not an elitist book. It's written by somebody like you and me.
Right, exactly right.
Except smarter.
News, analysis, opinion.
And the Karen wing of the Democratic Party will punish any Democrat that votes in any way to help ICE.
Let's get on the floor. Let's start this debate.
101.9 and 94.1.
Number 1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Their Provia windows combine old world craftsmanship the professional way, the Provia way, with over 65 years of combined experience, locally owned, offering competitive pricing and personalized service that the big box companies can't match. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Producer Joey V from the Tim Jones and Chris Arp Show here, reminding you, don't waste a buck on movies that suck. Tune in to Joey V's Movies Fridays at 5:45 for reviews you can trust. Brought to you by Harry J's Steakhouse in Moscow Mills.
Your business moves fast. PRI Global keeps it moving smarter for almost 30 years, delivering top tech talent to help companies grow stronger, custom applications, simplifying your operations, securing your data, modernizing your business from the cloud up. And with Prismatic, you're going to get real-time insights, automated workflows, people, process, platform. PRI Global delivers all three. PRIglobal.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNVS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
News at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A spokesman for Iran's top military command says its armed forces plan to fight until complete victory.
The comments by Major General Ali Abdullani Al-Abadi of the Qatan al-Anbiya Central Headquarters appear related to U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement that there were negotiations ongoing between Tehran and Washington. Iran has denied any talks are taking place, though its foreign minister has been talking to counterparts around the region. Iranian state television quoted Ali Abadi as saying, quote, Iran's powerful armed forces are proud, victorious, and steadfast in defending Iran's integrity, and this path will continue until complete victory. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Americans have become a little more pessimistic about the job market lately.
A new Gallup survey finds Americans have an increasingly negative view of the job market. The findings likely reflect an ongoing hiring drought. Just 28% of workers in a Gallup survey conducted in the fourth quarter of last year said it was a good time to find a job, with 72% saying it was a bad time. Those figures are a sharp reversal from just a few years ago. Pessimism is especially pronounced among young people and college graduates.
Prediction market platforms rushing to implement their own reforms.
Kalshi and Polymarket are tightening their rules on insider trading as Congress appears to be moving closer to cracking down on prediction markets. On Monday, the platforms announced bans that target politicians and athletes. Kalshi would block candidates from trading on their own campaigns and block athletes and sports employees from betting on their own sports. Polymarket is barring trading by anyone with confidential information or power over an outcome. Polymarket faces criticism over bets tied to military action. Also on Monday, Senators Adam Schiff and John Curtis introduced a bill to ban sports prediction contracts. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Psst. Want to hear the best kept secret in St. Louis? Steph's Pizza. We're not afraid to compare squares. According to our customers, we have the best St. Louis-style pizza anywhere, and we can't disagree. Dine-in, pickup, or delivery in St. Peters, St. Charles, Lake St. Louis on Fort Trail, and the original Stephanitas in O'Fallon on Veterans Memorial Parkway. Check us out at stepspizza.com. Steph's Pizza. We're not afraid to compare squares.
This year, America turns 250, and News Talk STL is celebrating our nation's semi-quincentennial all year long. News Talk STL, #1 for live and local Soros-free talk, with proud supporters of our 250th birthday celebration. Freddy's Market, Iron Bear Customs, and STL Windows and Doors. 250 years strong, and we're just getting started. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
I've got Dr. Michael Lewis here, West Point graduate, physician, and retired Army colonel, is considered the world's leading expert on the use of omega-3s for traumatic brain injury and concussions. Stuart Tomp brings over 30 years of experience in the supplement industry, brought $1 billion of products to the market, and has appeared in over 6,000 media interviews worldwide, and travels internationally and teaches on health.
Stuart Tomk here, and I've come across the biggest breakthrough in personalized nutrition I've seen in 25 years.
Dr. Lewis here. You know, for the first time, we can measure cellular and gut health. So you can start testing and stop guessing and make decisions based on real data. I'm working with world-class scientists and physicians, and what they're doing is changing everything.
You can message me at elizabeth@statmedicalllc.com. That is Elizabeth at statmedicalllc.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, sir. Final hour of our 3-hour tour, ready to roll, courtesy of the great Kenneth James Williams. I'm not mad at you, so I can't call you that. Only when I'm mad at you. So Kenneth James Williams.
Thanks, Vic.
You go to your room. All right, let's see if the doctor's in.
The Dr. Randy Tobler Update is brought to you by Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. Learn more about Drs. Omas and Cusimano and their team by visiting advanceddenistrynow.com.
I don't know. We really had that looked at.
Randy Tobler.
You guys are ahead of the curve. You probably took your masks off a couple weeks before the CDC said it was okay.
Now, Dr. Randy Tobler.
What's up, Doc?
Good morning, Dr. Randy Tobler. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, Mr. Vic Porcelli. How's life with you?
Good. I've figured out and I've solved the problem of the ID problem. You know, when you need ID to vote, the SAVE Act, everything we're trying to do to save America.
And you lost your birth certificate, and you lost your marriage license, and you have nothing there, and Mm-hmm.
You talking about me?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying that's what we're hearing for the Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nobody can have one.
I got a solution. You don't have to show. You don't have to show ID to vote, but also you don't have to show ID for anything: alcohol, cigarettes, guns, nothing. Just don't worry about it.
I'm in. I'm in.
What are you, 12 years old, kid? You pack cigarettes? Sure. Here you go.
Here you go.
What's the difference, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Which is why you're not going to be elected to Congress soon. But
Yeah.
but we love you, Vic. We love you.
It was just to make a point. Somebody can make. One of these congressmen can make a point. You know, who'd be perfect.
I get it. No, I mean
Senator John
I
Kennedy.
get it. It's a very effective tool. You're right. I mean, arguing the absurd to make the point. It's like, why is it for everything else? I mean, I know they're just patronizing me when I go to Walmart or wherever, and I buy a bottle of gin or something. It's like, show me your ID. I'm like, come on, really? And they're like, oh, my supervisor's looking. I'm like, okay, whatever.
They're looking at me. The cameras are on.
I saw these kids the other day, or I think it was last week at Ronnie's, and they were standing behind the exit door of the movie theater because they were underage, I'm sure, and they were waiting for their friend to get them in the back way. Because why? Because they needed an ID and they didn't have one.
Oh my Lord. Oh, well, glad we never did that as kids. Right?
No.
I don't know what you're talking
all
about.
the time, actually.
We just used our ID. Okay.
I didn't do that. I wasn't a movie guy as a kid. I don't know. I don't know. But I like going now. But it's too darn expensive anymore. I don't know. It's crazy.
I'll just wait for it to come on Netflix or something like that, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right, so there are, I don't know the names of the drugs because you're the doctor and I'm not, but I saw that a whole bunch of blood pressure medicines were recalled. Have you seen that story?
I didn't see it. No, I must have missed that one. Was it generic stuff? Probably generic stuff.
Teva was the manufacturer.
Yeah, that's a pretty prominent manufacturer, right?
Yeah, I don't know how metoprolol, something like that.
Oh, metoprolol.
Metoprolol. There we go. That was.
So that's a beta blocker. That sort of blocks the effect of adrenaline on the vessels and on the heart, and it's often used as a blood pressure medicine, but also in folks who have had a heart attack to prevent a second one. That class of drugs is very, very important. Yeah.
A lot of people take them.
Yeah, it's a popular one. You bet.
All right.
And Teva is that TEVA?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big generic manufacturer. Wow. And you know where they get, I don't know in this particular instance, but again, these reports never really surprise me. You know why? Because a lot of these things the vast majority of these generic raw materials and sometimes the products themselves come from China, China and India. And I've read stories about from FDA inspectors, because I guess we have agreements with those countries that we're able to go in and send FDA inspectors into those facilities that then send their stuff over to us, either to put in a capsule or to put in a big vat to make something that goes in a capsule. And I've read some whistleblower stories that say we were excluded from going into plant A or B for a few days until they could, sort of clean up their act. Sounds like the nuclear inspectors in Iran story to me, doesn't it to you?
Yes, and since you brought it up, why do we have any medicines made by the enemy, China? I mean, they're going to use it as a weapon sooner or later. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yep.
Do you like cheap LED big screen TVs? That's why. It's the same story. It's cheap.
Yeah, but
that's why we've outsourced a lot of stuff to China.
A lot
It's
more.
cheap.
There's a lot more at cost when you're talking about medicine, though, than TVs, right?
Well, I agree, but I'm arguing the absurd to make a point, right? I mean,
look at you playing my game. Got you.
There's this insatiable desire for the American consumer to consume more and more and more. And, when wages aren't keeping up with prices, well, you want prices to go down. So you go overseas. That's where we're in the mess we're in.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Ken has a question because Ken's got to take statins now.
That's Tobler. I got my blood test back. They said everything looked really good except for the cholesterol. It's a little elevated. And so I guess my question to you is, if once I start taking this, which I think today is the first day I have to start taking it, will I feel different at any point? I mean, will it make me feel, I don't know, will I notice a change?
According to a couple of very good studies, if you feel differently, it's most likely because you've read that you will feel differently. And again, I disagree with the premise of a lot of the research now that's done in what's called evidence-based medicine. So they'll take, 100,000 people and, 50,000, and they'll ask them, after they release the drug and say, well, what have you noticed? That's the BEARS system. It's the same kind of a system. It's the reporting system that people can log on and say, hey, I started a drug and, I grew a third eye, whatever. Well, there's become this feeling that statins cause muscle aches and pains. And I've had patients who I really do believe they probably did, but there's been some well-done studies where patients were their own controls, meaning they didn't know for a few weeks or a couple months or however long they were on a given agent, whether they were on a statin or a pill that looked like their statin but was a sugar pill, a placebo. And guess what? They found that there was no difference, zero difference in the complaints of muscle aches, because there were complaints of muscle aches on the placebo. We all have muscle aches, right?
Yeah.
Go out and play some pickleball. Well, interestingly enough, there didn't seem to be a statistically significant difference among the same person, whether they took a placebo or not, but they didn't know what they were taking. So that tells you the power of suggestion, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So now, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask about, because I'm going to take CoQ10 in place of that. Oh, I stole it from Vic.
Well, it's just if you take a statin,
do too.
you should take. I do too.
too.
I take a CoQ10 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And look, I believe that. Look, this is what's so weird about research. In an era when, over the last 20, 30 years, all of the academics talk about evidence-based medicine. So they take a large group of people that's as similar as they can make them. They're all white and fat and 40, whatever. Who cares? And they try to adjust for little differences here and there. But they're not adjusting for the enzymes that metabolize these drugs. And we now know, with the field of what is called pharmacogenomics, which means we metabolize things differently, right? And that kind of stuff is not factored into that. There are people who seem to have a real sensitivity to drug A or B or C that makes no sense to any doctor that looks at them and say, why is it that you grow a third eye when I put you on this medicine? That's not in the package insert. Well, you start doing studies on people and you look at these. There are now pharmacists who are specialists when, like, let's say Ken needs his statin to keep him from having a heart attack. But darn it, every statin Ken tries, I don't care what the studies say, he's getting muscle aches and it's killing him. And he's got brain fog and all the stuff that has really not been panned out. And you know, lo and behold, you may find that Ken is a slow metabolizer of these things. So at the same dose that Vic and Randy feel fine on and it drops their cholesterol, man, Ken is just really, he has got circulating levels that are much higher, and that's causing the problem. So my point is, individualization and personalized medicine is trying to coexist at the same time with bulk, one-size-fits-all medicine, and that's where the collision comes in.
Yeah. And my final question on this whole thing is, as I take it and I'm exercising, will I be able to get off of it at some point, maybe?
Well, you know, we believe now there's pretty good evidence that if you have risk factors for cardiovascular disease, whether you have diabetes or you have hypertension or you're overweight, you know, or you smoke or whatever, it seems like statins reduce that risk. That said, if you reduce those other risks, much of that behavior will result in lower cholesterol. And assuming you don't have some family predisposition to hypercholesterolemia, which is, that happens. There's people that have outrageous cholesterols and they're like, they're running marathons and it's a genetic thing. You may not have to have it, right? If you eliminate those other risks, the probability of that's low, practically speaking, you know, because we like to eat our hot dogs and we like to drink our beer. You know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
So if you're taking a statin, right?
Yeah.
And the CoQ10, we're taking the CoQ10. Now, is there anything we're going to have to take because of the CoQ10? Because it's,
no.
You know, it seems like,
so CoQ10 it's coenzyme Q10. So there's this really cute little thing that happens. We've got our little energy power plants inside our cells called mitochondria. And the fuel source comes into that energy plant, and it goes through sort of a Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz process, you know, goes down the line and something happens here and something happens here. And at the end of the line, all of the electrons have been stripped off of that fuel source and placed into ATP, right? Not ADP, ATP, the ultimate power source for our cellular lives. And coenzyme Q10 is very important in the manufacture of the power molecule off of the fuel source. So, and statins have been shown to be capable of depleting that CoQ10. Now, we manufacture that ourselves, and it's in our food supply as well. But I just supplement. I've been on a statin for a long time, and I take my CoQ10, and I'm a happy camper, and my cholesterol is low. And as of 11/18, on March 24th, I have not yet had an MI, and I'm happy about that.
What's that, MI?
A myocardial infarction.
Oh, we don't want any of those. Yeah. We don't want any of those.
Look, the one thing that we know that statins can do is if they can decrease your glucose tolerance. In other words, they can make you a little more towards the diabetic side. So if you're on the edge of diabetes and you take a statin, it may bump you up there. But okay, so that means cut down on your Coca-Cola and your potato chips. You know, I mean, there's ways to address that and get moving, build more muscle, have less fat. So look, I don't want people to feel as though statins are evil, the evil empire. There are some people who I believe are bothered by them, but I think more people are bothered by them because they expect to be bothered by them.
Well, there's drugs that cause tardive dyskinesia, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you have tardive dyskinesia from a drug that you took, now you could take a drug to help the tardive. You see what I'm saying? How far down? What's that drug that fights tardive dyskinesia going to do that you'll need another drug to fight that?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, there are those instances. Some of the psychiatric drugs can cause tardive dyskinesia. They're sort of famously known for that kind of stuff. They can cause movement disorders. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're disabled really and sort of functionally very, very impaired because of your psychiatric illness, it becomes a balancing act. I mean, would you rather be impaired by psychiatric illness or have that dealt with? And you take another drug to deal with the side effects that are making you, more functional in society. And I think that's a discussion people have with their doctors, right? And I think it's an important discussion to have. We don't have a lot of examples of that where you have to take one drug to deal with the side effects or another. By the way, as long as I'm sort of on my statin soapbox here.
Yes, sir.
And look, I don't encourage statins for everyone just because they have a bump in their cholesterol, assuming nothing else is wrong. We always want to do lifestyle things first, right? I mean, I don't give statins out like they're candy unless I think they're really going to be an advantage to help keep someone out of the cath lab or out of the coffin, right? But statins, no one likes to talk about the fact that statins reduce your risk of colorectal cancer. Last time I checked, colorectal cancer is on the rise. So let's look at the positive side of these things, like maybe up to 40%, maybe even higher.
Wow.
Reduction in that risk.
I didn't
That's a
know
big
that.
deal, right?
Yeah.
Long-term statin use. Yes, sir.
I just know that I see commercials now for drugs that fight tardive dyskinesia. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to ask you, are you watching the show The Pit?
No.
The concept is great, Dr. Tobler, because it's an emergency. It's an emergency room in Pittsburgh, The Pit, right? And the cool thing is, it's all in real time. The hour show is an hour of life in the show. And you'd love it, I think, just because I can't watch it by myself because I need my wife to tell me, what's that drug? What's that disease? What the hell are they talking about?
So is it sort of shot from a director's, the camera view? Is it sort of like The Office, where it's sort of a camera that's really sort of feels sort of real time, and that kind of a environment?
Well, it is, yeah, but I mean, it's on HBO,
That would
so
be fun.
they can show anything, and they show a little too much, as far as I'm concerned. This guy, when they say, call your doctor if something lasts for more than 4 hours, you know what I'm talking about? Problem. And they showed his thing. I'm like, well, I don't need to see that. Anyway, my wife loves the medical part of it. It gets a little woke with ice and stuff, but I think you'd like it, Dr. Tobler.
All right. Well, I'll check it out. Except I don't know if I have HBO. Is that like HBO Max?
Yes.
I may have.
HBO Max.
I think that came with some telephone subscription. I have.
Boy, everything you get has something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Your TV may have it for free. Who knows if you got a smart TV?
Isn't it something? We used to gripe about the cable or the satellite dish costs or the cable costs, and by the time you add up all your streaming costs, I'm not sure it's a bargain anymore.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Tobler, every Saturday morning, 6 to 9 o'clock, and also every morning on the Eagle in Columbia. Thank you, Dr. Tobler. We'll talk next week.
All right. May the statin be with you.
And also with you.
And thank you for all the information, Dr. Tobler. I appreciate it.
All right. Bill's in the mail.
Thanks. Have a good one. That was good info, though. I didn't know about the
CoQ10 thing?
No, about the benefit of colorectal cancer, decreasing the opportunity for that to get into your system.
Wait, what?
If you take a statin, you have a lesser chance of getting colorectal cancer.
Oh, fantastic. I don't want that. Nobody wants that.
No.
Okay. Wednesdays at this time, we're just wrapping up something that we do that we love. It's called Vic for Vets. And what we do is just talk about a veteran. It's not any plainer, simpler than that.
Yeah.
We just talk about a veteran. So send us your information, Ken. What should they send, and who should they send it to?
Yeah, Vic, they send to Ken at NewstalkSTL.com, name, rank, branch of service, and if you have a story that'd be great, in or out of the military, or anything about your hero, send it to me at Ken at NewstalkSTL.com, and we'll highlight them.
And we couldn't do it without the support of Michael Funeral Home, Alamo Military Collectibles, Heroes Care, Gemini Wealth Group, and Freddy's Market. Vic for Vets every Wednesday at 11:05.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Some of these protesters hold up signs proclaiming gays for Gaza. They might as well hold up signs saying chickens for KFC.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Live and local.
Listen to what those local folks are telling you.
News Talk STL.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint, formulated to outsmart the elements. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, mold or mildew. Our home exterior coatings intelligently designed to stand up to Mother Nature. Call 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You talk about race relations.
This conversation has completely made me crazy.
This is complete insanity.
And I'm sick and tired of it.
1019 and 94.1
I find it to be a conversation starter.
News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Just when I thought I was out. Back in.
On News Talk STL.
Ken?
Yeah.
I believe that you and President Trump were both in Tennessee on the same day.
You know what? I'm kind of glad I didn't know he was in Memphis because we were going to head that way, and we didn't because we went down to Nashville, and it's a couple hours away.
What if you stopped at Graceland yesterday? You would have ran into President Trump.
We talked about it, actually, and I did not have any idea that he was going to be down there, so I wouldn't have been able to get in, though. They probably shut it down for him.
If you brought some trolley stop cookies, I bet they would let you in.
They may have, yeah.
He's never even smelled the trolley stop cookies. That's what pisses me off.
I know.
Somebody let us down, Ken. Somebody
There
let
was
us down.
There was a break in the chain link.
And it wasn't
somewhere.
It wasn't Diane Wood that was the weakest link.
No.
Somewhere in D.C., Bob Onder and Eric Burleson and Nate Lucas.
And I kind of equate that link that was broken as a cookie that was broken and eaten.
And the president never got him. Anyway, President Trump visited Graceland. I love that.
I know.
I had no idea that he was a huge, huge fan of Elvis.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
He said, I knew Frank Sinatra. I knew most of them. Unfortunately, I never met Elvis. That would have been one that I would have liked a lot. I do like his music. How do you not like Elvis's music? There's a movie in theaters right now that's a live Elvis show.
Yeah, from footage that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And it was his pre-heavyweight days.
Yes. Those heavyweight days were not good.
Well.
But you know what? When Elvis died, it was in August of 1977. And I found out I was down in Wildwood, New Jersey with my friends on the beach, laying on blankets. And in Wildwood, they have kids that sell the newspapers, like the Newsies, you know? Read all about it, extra, extra. And this kid, and the paper that they were selling was the Philadelphia Daily News. and they would say, Philadelphia Daily News here. And they would say, Philadelphia Daily News, Elvis Presley's dead. We were like, what? So we all bought a copy, and we're all reading about it. I'm like, oh, my God, Elvis Presley's dead. I couldn't believe it. That's how I found out about it, on the beach in Wildwood, New Jersey. Then, just a few days later, Groucho Marx died. And it was like nobody cared. You know?
Yeah.
If Elvis hadn't died, we'd have been like, oh, no, Groucho.
I remember my mom being really upset and me thinking I never even knew she knew of Elvis Presley. But
your mother?
My mom, yeah. She was pretty upset about it.
So
when he died.
Your family, your mom and dad are a little younger than my mom and dad, right?
A little bit, yeah. Not much, though. Yeah.
Because my mom and dad were all about swing music, big band music, Benny Goodman.
Okay.
Glenn Miller, Andrew Sisters, that whole era. And I forget, we were talking about this before, and there was music that your mom liked.
Oh, yeah. She loved the band Bread, like Jim Croce also, just Christopher Cross. She liked a lot of those bands. What was that one? Oh, she played some. Herb Alpert and Tijuana.
Oh, who didn't love
all
them?
the time? Yeah, she played.
Did you
that.
say Jim Croce?
Yeah.
Why'd you say that? It's Jim Croce.
Well,
no, I'm sorry. I said Chuck Mangione the wrong way, and I got crap from all you people about it. It's Jim Croce.
Never said it that way.
And I never said Mangione, ever. I never said Chuck Mangione. I said Chuck Mangione.
And you still maintain that you were right.
And I am. And Croce is more Italian. C-E, Croce. Is that the C-E
Jim
was
Croce.
pronounced like a C-H. Don't say it like that.
What is that going to add? Now you're going to obsess.
No.
Now you will.
Not me. I don't obsess about anything.
Oh, never, no.
So he went to, the president went to Graceland. And
With
they
Jim
want.
Croce?
I'm going to ignore him, everybody. You ignore him, I'll ignore him, and then we won't hear him. He was going to sign a guitar, an Elvis guitar. But you know what he did? He asked for a piece of paper first and did his signature on a piece of paper to make sure the Sharpie he was using wasn't out of ink because he didn't want to screw it up on the guitar.
Yeah, he just took the paper. I saw the video. He took the paper and he just like scraped on it like 3 times. Said, "That's not bad."
But that's thoughtful.
Very thoughtful. Yeah.
That's the things you don't hear in the mainstream media.
No.
So do you think that because and I know you've been to Graceland, you've done the tour. I've done the tour of Graceland, and I don't know how they do it now. But when I went, which was Chris was young, 1994 or 5, somewhere around there. You had a Walkman. Remember the Walkman?
Yeah.
Cassette player that had headphones, so you could do the tour at your pace.
We went down there, I think, August of 1999, and it was the same way.
Cassettes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So somewhere they must have updated that to a MP3 type of thing. But you can go at your own pace. You can stop and look at something a little longer if you want to, or if you don't want to look at it at all, you just walk by and go on to the next thing on the tape. But I think I've told you this before. When I took that tour, I touched everything I was allowed to touch because Elvis might have touched it.
Maybe.
I reached in and touched the phone in the kitchen. I shouldn't have done that, I don't think.
Well, you know how you walk through, and what surprised me about Graceland is the rooms weren't as big as I thought they would be.
Yes.
I thought they would be gigantic. You know, you walk past the room, it's a room. It's
I
just
thought the
a
house
room.
itself would be as big as the White House.
Yes.
And it really wasn't.
Right. And I was trying to figure out, when I was watching the video of President Trump being there recently, I wanted to try and see where he was. Did I stand there? Because I think they may have opened it all up to him.
Of
because,
course, yeah.
you know, they talked about the jungle room, and he's like, he had very good taste. He was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Trump is so gaudy about taste. It's so funny. He really is.
He is.
Gold everywhere. You know?
Yeah. He loves that. So the jungle room, when you take the tour too, there's no doors on any of the rooms.
No. Yeah.
So you can just look in. You can even stick your head in.
Don't they have plexiglass? No, you could see in. You could, yeah, like you said. But I think, wasn't there plexiglass in some?
I don't remember that. I just remember I was walking by the jungle room and I was able to stick my head in. And in my head, I saw the ghosts of all the people that Elvis invited over just to jam all night into, you know?
you imagine?
Early
I
morning
can't even
hours.
imagine being in that room while they're there in that moment.
I'll bet some big-time blues players have been in that jungle room.
Oh.
I'll bet you like Keith Richards and Robbie Robertson and guys like that were in there playing with him.
And all he would have to say is, hey, you guys want to jam? Let's go. Right there, right then. Pick up their instruments, boom. He'd start tapping on like a box or something, the drummer.
So, yeah. So, I think the fact that Ken and President Trump were in the same state at the same time, that maybe you could have bumped into. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President. How you doing?
Didn't even know.
Hey, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
If you brought the Grasser grandson with you, it would have worked out fine. Walk out, Mr. President. Here's the Grasser grandson. That's good. I thought you might have played it for your.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about opposite ends of the spectrum. You got President Trump, who was very thoughtful and making sure that that his signature wouldn't be marred in any way when he signed the guitar. He did, like you said, just a couple lines on a piece of paper to say, yeah, this is good, let's do this. Now, on the other side of life there's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who spent $18,000.
I think it was 19, but I don't know why they put that on there.
You have 18,725.
Okay, 19.
We would round that up to 19.
Yeah.
Okay, $19,000 for psychiatry therapy.
Yeah, I find that interesting in and of itself, but this psychotherapist specialized in the controversial ketamine therapy. And that's a different type of situation there. I'm not saying that she did do it, Vic, but if she was involved in any kind of that ketamine therapy, that's a psychotropic type of situation there. And she's a leader in the United States House of Representatives.
Well, now that you've said that, now I understand that there was no therapy at all. She went in there, got her ketamine, and walked out. Right? Come on.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Okay.
She didn't lay on the couch. I hate my mother. I hate my father. Give me some ketamine.
Yeah.
That's about how long she probably was in there. And ketamine killed Chandler Bing.
Yes. Yeah.
What's his name? I don't know.
Chandler. From
his name is Chandler. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to know. And
I think ketamine was also involved in Prince's death.
Yeah, I don't know that, but that could very well be. I know that Michael Jackson died from propofol, and when I got my test, let's say, for colonoscopy, they call it.
Right.
I was in the room there where they're going to do it, and he's talking about, okay, so we're going to put you out. You're going to be out for this procedure. And I said, can I ask you, what do you use? What kind of drugs do you use to put people out? He goes, oh, we use propofol. I said, propofol? Isn't that what Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the sentence. Out, like trout.
Yeah, right? I always like to say, because I've had a number of colonoscopies, I always like to say, hey, I'll see you later. And they always just go, okay, whatever.
See you later. See you later. I don't know. I just, remember when we got our tonsils? Do you have your tonsils?
Yes.
You still have your tonsils?
Yeah.
Well, I got mine out when I was very young. And back then, they make you count backwards from 100. And you went 100, 99, 98, 97. But it was a gradual thing.
Yeah.
Propofol is right in the middle of it.
Oh, right there.
Sentence.
Oh,
Done.
yeah.
Gone. All right, we'll come back. We'll do the chat box. That's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken.
We are two wild and crazy guys.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Columbo and Company.
The Supreme Court is reportedly on the verge of a ruling that would change mail-in voting laws. We'll fill you in Tuesday with our legal expert, Susie Moore, plus Crane Durham from NothingButTruth.com.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Cardinal Nation, it's time to paint the town red.
Opening day of Cardinal baseball at Busch Stadium.
And there's nothing else like it.
It's a St. Louis tradition.
Two things define St. Louis: Cardinal baseball and NewstalkSTL.
Play ball!
Cardinal baseball opening day, March 26th, backed by our hometown favorites, Dushan High School, Freddy's Market, and D. Gregorio's Food Products.
Cardinal baseball!
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today.
800-515-2380. That's 800-515-2380. Paid for by U.S. Med.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah.
Get ready, pal. You're going to enter a problem.
On NewstalkSTL.
I think Joe Biden imagined himself, literally visioned himself,
right,
in a 1940s movie, gangster movie. Look out, pal. You're going to have some trouble, see?
You're right.
If you don't let me come here, let me smell your hair. If you don't let me smell your hair, you're going to be in trouble, see?
Get ready, pal. You're going to enter a problem.
Yeah, I never talked to my son about his business, see? Yeah.
See?
All right, let's go. Go. Grant says, good morning, you bunch of Vic heads, and whoosh.
Whoosh.
What the hell? Oh, praise the Lord. Ken is back to keep Vic from running amok. You know what? Whatever.
We've united the
Asia. Asia.
You were right.
Got it. Barbara says, good morning, freedom fighting Vic heads. It's good to see you, Ken. All right, what the hell with you now?
Thanks, Bart. Appreciate it.
Hope you had a good time. Vic missed you. Bill Harrison. Bill Harrison? Do you know Bill
What's
Harrison?
up, Bill?
I don't know Bill.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Bill? Whoosh, Vic heads. Top of the morning to you.
Whoosh.
Good morning, fam bam. Another whoosh. Sorry, Ken. One more
Whoosh.
for Kathleen.
Hey, man.
I
have a bunch of wishes for people.
Everybody out. He's doing it again. What, me? You talking about me? What the hell? Sean, the Marine.
Sean
brought us pizza.
How are you, Sean?
He's an election worker when the elections happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the bad news is good morning from Arizona.
Oh, wow.
I think he lives there now. But he's still listening, still watching.
Thanks, Sean.
We miss you, Sean.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, my goodness. Scotty Downey, our Navy chief. Good morning, gents and fellow Vic heads. Welcome back, Ken. Whatever.
Well,
Have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you very much, man.
Thank you, Navy Chief.
Hoo-yah, Navy!
Thank you.
Hoo-yah, Navy! Hoo-yah, Navy!
I could listen to that all day and watch the video all day. You know?
Yeah.
You know I obsess.
A little bit.
A little bit.
So what's the most fun part about the NCAA basketball tournament are the buzzer beaters, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes from half court. About 5-6 years ago, Northern Iowa was playing. I don't remember the team they were playing, but the other team had tied up the score with 3 or 4 seconds left, and Northern Iowa decided just to do the half court heave, right? Kid throws it up, and he hits it. And I watched him hitting it, just the ball going in about 100 times in a row yesterday, because the cheerleaders, they sit there with their legs crossed there right under the basket. When that ball went in, it was like an explosion of cheers and jumping and cheering. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I loved it.
What was that kid? There was a kid I saw yesterday on video. This was all video stuff, like clips. And he was really awkward. Like, he was at the three-point line, and he looked, there's no way he could have possibly got that, but he did. He got it right in.
Yep.
It was great.
I love the buzzer beaters. How do you Dems sleep at night knowing what they are standing for? I don't know.
I don't get it
That's a
either.
great point.
That is a wonderful point.
Grant, they don't care. The only thing that Dems stand for is Dem control. They want to control everything. And my question is, why? Why do you just want to control everything?
I don't know. We were talking about some serious things, like, for example, Sheridan Gorman getting murdered by an illegal alien.
She was 18.
And she was 18 years old, Vic. And if you vote for that, if you voted for that, if you're going to vote for a Democrat, you're part of this.
And again, Grant's question is, how do they sleep at night knowing your policies killed an innocent 18-year-old by an illegal alien?
I don't get it.
How do they sleep at night?
I don't know.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Ken, call them what they are. Communists. So you don't have to remind Grant about that. Good morning, freedom fighting Vic. Vic, I agree with Vic about Rick Pitino and coaches wearing suits and ties to games.
Yeah.
But she's got a caveat.
All right.
But Dennis Gates also wears a suit and tie, Mizzou coach. I'd rather him wear boxers and a T-shirt if that means Mizzou could get a win in the big dance.
I get that.
I do
sure.
too, but my gosh, Rick Pitino just looked like the Don.
You're mocking me, aren't
He
you?
looked like he was going to talk to his capo regimes.
Yeah.
And not just any Don, the Vito Corleone
The Don.
who doesn't get too rattled up about anything.
Right.
Scooter says, Dr. Tobler's show on Saturday morning is marvelous. Never miss it. Well, thank you for that. That's why we put him there. I just want to say this is pretty rare, but documented in the literature, you can get myositis, a devastating neuromuscular disease, R.I.P. Eric Dane, from statins. It traces back to, statins are bad for you now? Also, since folks mostly hate the COVID vax, there are also cases of myositis.
Myocarditis.
That's not what this says.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay. Also not common, but it exists. I took the vax plus 2 boosters, but the timing wasn't there to blame it on.
2 boosters.
Booster.
Every time I hear the word booster, I think of him.
That's great. You think of me doing him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dr. Tobler went to medical school. That's why his medical opinion carries weight. Did you know that?
Yeah, he's an expert.
Did you know that Dr. Tobler went to medical school?
Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
I had no idea. I thought it was just like Dr. J. He just calls himself
I
doctor.
think I'm going to be called a doctor.
I'm going to be called a doctor.
I'm Dr. Ken.
I'm Dr. Vic.
Just call me that.
Paul Spool says it's Taco Tuesday. Where are you getting yours? I like Camilla's in Eureka and Pacific. All right. This is not going to be very popular, Ken. Full transparency. I am not a big fan of tacos.
Why?
Don't know. I mean, what's in it? Ground beef, lettuce, tomato, sour cream. I can just put that on a burger.
Well, you're talking to the wrong person. I love tacos. And not only that, but they come up with some incredible taco versions that I've had lately, especially with seafood.
Like fish taco?
Oh, yeah, tempura.
You love fish taco.
I love them.
It's a joke in our house because nobody likes fish tacos. Good morning, freedom fighters from Coyote. Thank you, Coyote. PMS says, good morning, Patriots. Hey, it's good to see you. That's what he says right there.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Grasser, grandson. Hi, Vic. Welcome back, Ken.
Thank you.
Schroer story is the definition of bat stuff crazy. I forgot what we talked to Nick about.
Primarily like taxes and boys and girls bathrooms.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
PMS also says Kenny, my man.
All right.
Whatever.
Thank you very much.
Whatever.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
Morning freedom fighting Vic heads. Hi, Vic and Ken, and all patriots. Thank you, Allison. No property tax. No property tax. No I don't know. It would be nice to see the supermajority actually get some work done and laws passed, legislation passed for a change. You know, do they think we're not looking? Does the state legislature think we're not looking?
I don't know what it is, man, but I got to tell you, even with we have a supermajority in government and federal government as well, and they're going to look back and say, man, we should have done that. We should have. They always say that. When the Democrats get back in power, well, we should have done. Okay, do it.
Do it.
Y'all fired.
Oh no! It would be nice to see the supermajority. Oh, I just said that. Morning, Vickhead Patriots. I liked it way better when they all wore suits and ties. Me too. Ever since Bill B made that look popular.
Belichick.
Patriots. Who?
Bill Belichick.
Football guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll get to there in a second. Made that look popular with the Patriots. Everyone else tried to dress down now. So if you go back and watch NFL Films highlights of games from the 60s, John Facenda on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, that deep voice, the Oakland Raiders. Vince Lombardi wore a shirt and tie. Tom Landry wore a shirt and tie.
Tom Landry, Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Coach. He's the one I always think about whenever you hear a football coach wearing a suit.
Yeah, we've just gone completely backwards, you know, and especially in basketball. You're standing right there. The audience sees you every play. Rick Pitino, I don't think, ever sits down. He stands up the entire game.
Yeah.
And he's doing it in a beautiful suit, beautiful pink tie, had a pink tie on.
Oh, yeah.
He looked great. I'm sorry, one more thing, Ken. DTF, I got to say the words in my head to get DTF St. Louis. One of the main characters, a girl, terrible vocal fry.
No, I don't like that at all.
Do they do it on purpose, or is it really just how their voice is?
It has to do with inflection, so I guess it would be natural.
So,
I mean, they can try and do it.
So the people that are putting the show together, the producers and things, they hear people talk, and they hear people in the vocal fry, and they, exactly what we want.
See, that's what we want, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
Oh, don't be. Good morning. Oh, what?
Don't be.
Don't be clear.
Don't be clear.
Why start now? You haven't done it for...
No, Lucky.
How old is he? 80, 81?
920.
You think somewhere in the 18th century he would have got it right.
Yeah, he would have.
Good morning, all. Hey, Vic, baby. Cinderfer, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome back, Ken, darling. Whatever.
You hear how he says it? It's so funny.
Cole did a fine job. But
yeah, he did. And by the way, thanks, Cole, for helping out, man.
Thank you,
it was
Cole.
so good.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Vic, baby, was a little stressed without you. I really kind of was. I mean, Cole did great.
Yeah.
You know,
he
did great.
He stepped up, man. And the thing about Cole is that he studied it, man. He had paper. He was writing stuff down, taking video.
I got to tell you, he threw a couple of whooshes in, too.
Did he really?
Yes,
That's
he did.
awesome.
A couple of whooshes.
That's a
here
whoosh
and
for
there.
Cole. Thank you, Cole.
I didn't want to force him into anything. I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. I wanted to be kind, and
yeah,
everything
and you
was
were,
fine.
Vic. You
I
were.
try. Not to you, though.
No.
You don't deserve.
I'm not talking about me.
Oh, okay. Sounds like steam escaping. What sounds like steam escaping? Scott is a real American. So proud of him. That Scott Pressler, man. That kid never stops for the right, for us.
It's his passion.
He doesn't get enough.
It's contagious. That was the word I was trying to think of earlier.
Contagious. That's the perfect word. Scott is a real American. So proud of him. He doesn't get enough credit out there. So for how much he does. I agree. Everybody in America should know who Scott Pressler is.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
You just be careful there. Need a gun? No ID needed. Hop on board, Dems. I think I like my idea.
I did too.
If you don't need photo ID to vote in this country, then you don't need it to buy alcohol or cigarettes or anything else.
Well, that's what they should do. They should get on the floor of the House or the Senate and say, all right, everybody, we got a new rule here. No more identification. Oh, good for the SAVE Act? Good. You're getting rid of that, right? Okay, good. No. You don't understand. We don't need ID for anything anymore. I think it's great.
When the kids, have you driven around your neighborhood yet and there were kids selling like lemonade?
Right.
Do kids do that in your neighborhood?
Yeah, oh yeah.
A couple of days ago, there was a kid right down the street, and I said, "How much is it?" He was like, $2. $2? It used to be a quarter. What the hell are you guys doing?
$2.
So I gave him $5.
Wow.
And I said, "No, I don't want anything." He goes, "You don't?" No. I said, "I just want to help you guys out." That's how you do it, by the way.
That is how
you give them way more than what they want, and
Right.
you don't bother. Let them save lemonade for somebody else who's going to cheap out and just give them $2. God, it used to be a quarter.
It did.
The left tells everyone there are millions of people who will be disenfranchised if voter ID is required, but we never see any of these people. Where are they? Yeah.
Such a great point.
It is a great point. Why don't you come do the show instead
Okay,
of me?
another
You and Ken
Democrat
can do it.
being on the offensive. Another
Oh,
Democrat or Republican being on the offensive. They should get up there and say, okay, I get it. You got a bunch of these people that are disenfranchised. Where are they?
Right.
Give me one.
Let's
Give me
hear
just
them.
one.
Find one. Because you're not going to find it among the black community. I just want to make sure you understand that. They're all going to have their photo ID.
They're going to look at you like you're nuts, first
Right.
of all, for even asking the question.
I guess they're talking about illegal aliens. Oh, or the dead who are still voting. Election day. Military has an online portal to vote. You know what? The military is not anybody I'm worried about when it comes to voting.
And
at
that's
all.
how you know how important voting is, Vic. If the dead are willing to get out of the grave and vote, it's a very important thing to do, a function of the American people.
We were talking about Post Malone.
Yeah.
And the great double meme would be like sperm on one side, pre-Malone.
Right.
Allison like that. She's laughing at it. Vic, I'm glad you warned me about last week's episode of The Pit being woke in the immigration issue. Me and my wife had to push through it last night. Boy, did they dramatize that. You're right. It's a weird thing. It's not on Sundays. It's on Thursdays. That's when they release it. By law, hospital emergency rooms have to treat injured and sick people regardless of their immigration status unless they pose a danger to others. And there you go. Someone needs to call Jeffries out on all his bull butter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
You better watch how you talk when you talk about me.
Wow. Congressman Onder is not taking his pay during the shutdown. There you go. Setting a good example.
See, that's it. That's the way it should be. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to know if anybody did that, and it's great that a Missouri representative would be doing it.
John Kennedy, too. Mullins is ex-military, and there are a lot of ex-military in all unions. O'Brien looked like an idiot challenging a military man. He was told never to do it again. And then he would have got his ass kicked. Mark Wayne Mullen is trained in martial arts. And you're a Teamster. I get it. You're Teamster tough. You're not martial arts tough.
But you know what's funny about that is after they got to be friends, and then they started talking about one night probably drinking, he would look at this and, I would have really kicked your ass hard.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I know you would have. I'm sure he would have said something like that.
Right. Vic Mamdani has forced people out of New York for a reason. Ken's 100% right. Ken's always right about that Islam stuff. He knows what he's talking about. Oh, look who decided to show up 30 seconds before the show's over. Ed Stoit.
Hey, Ed, it's good to hear from you.
Emergency union meeting.
Hey, Vic Porcelli Show chatboxers. This is Ed Stoit. Just reminding you to hit the like button. Would it kill you? It is the union rules.
Thanks, Ed.
I ask you, would it kill you?
It wouldn't kill you. I know it wouldn't because Vic's right here.
That's right. So listen, thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning. We always appreciate that.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Jamie Allman's next. He's drunk, I think.
We'll see you.
1949, the last time a Republican held the top post in St. Louis City. A gallon of milk was 84 cents, and streetcars ran down Grand Avenue. Unfortunately, St. Louis City streets are no longer the epicenter of family and business life. In the 80 years of Democrat control, our city has been on a steady decline.
Hello, Kirk Ilsinger, chairman of the Republican Party for the city of St. Louis, and we believe it is our duty to provide a different path forward. I invite you to our meetings the first Thursday of every month. Learn more at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-515-2397. 800-515-2397. 800-515-2397. That's 800-515-2397.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Town Hall, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Iran continues to fire missiles at Israel.
A missile slammed into a street in central Tel Aviv as Iran kept up its offensive, even as U.S. President Donald Trump said the United States was in talks with the Islamic Republic to end the war.
One warhead of a missile that exploded in the middle of the road. It's exploded above cars.
Police Superintendent Fadida Yaniv.
We estimate it's something like 100 kilogram of warhead that exploded in this incident.
No one was seriously hurt. I'm Haya Pinjwani.
Iran, meanwhile, has named a new Supreme National Security Council secretary.
Iran has named a new former Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander as the new secretary of the country's Supreme National Security Council, replacing Ali Larijani, who was killed in an airstrike. Iranian state television identified the new secretary as Mohammad Bagher Zolgar. Zolgar reached the rank of brigadier general in the Guard. He's been serving as the secretary of Iran's Expediency Council.
That is correspondent Bernie Bennett reporting. Mark Wayne Mullen has been confirmed by the Senate as the new Secretary of Homeland Security. More on that from White House correspondent Greg Cluxton.
The Senate voted mostly along party lines, confirming Mullen 54-45. President Trump selected the Republican